We are live from Powell Davis Stadium on the campus of Venice High School for tonight's contest between the Venice Indians and the Sarasota Sailors. Tonight's game is brought to you on the VSN network and by Vibrant Aspect Media. Francis and his team again here to help us out and get you guys all caught up on tonight's matchup for Venice. The win, Bill. We'll get into a little bit more later on, but it means a district championship if they're able to beat the Sailors tonight.
Yeah, very strange.
Oh, by the way, Bill Madden's here tonight. I forgot to introduce Bill.
In case
Bill
you
Madden,
didn't know,
my
I am
analyst.
not Trey Burton.
Yeah, because if he was Trey Burton, he would be this much bigger than me.
Yes, and I love watching Trey. One of the probably most decorated player in Venice high school football history. But yeah, good to be here, John. I'm looking forward to the game.
So getting back, district championship tonight. The Sarasota Sailors come to town for the Indians win. They go 2-0 in a 3-team district, and that sort of lays it out. So big game tonight. We were talking about it, myself and Coach Peacock, at the coaches show on our taping, and really it can't be undersold how big it is to win a district championship and a regional championship and all the different things, because you look back and you see how many years of history in Venice high school sports, or in football in particular, and there's just not you don't just roll these things up and they don't come just as easy as can be. These are definitely situations that you cherish when you're a player, and then as being a former player, when you come that close, you talk about it a lot and wish it had happened for you.
Yeah, it's definitely a notch in your belt, and it's good to look back in that down the road and think about it, and you have bad dreams about it if you didn't make it all the way. But Venice is in a really good position to sew it up tonight, as you mentioned. Against a Sarasota team that is struggled this year, but we'll kind of get into that a little more probably after the recaps and last week and some other issues. Yeah,
no doubt. And again, so tonight's game, again, big matchup here. Looks like the weather's trying to hold out for us. Last night's JV game was just washed out. I mean, they tried about 3 or 4 times to get it started. Never happened, but it was a much more active night for the clouds and whatnot. So it looks like tonight maybe we'll be able to get an overcast, muggy night, a little more muggy than you like to see in October.
Yeah, that cool weather last week just
spoiled
was
me.
so good,
so
and I thought it was going to last for a little while. Didn't happen.
No, I wish but one thing I can say to you is that this blurb of warm weather is followed by even better weather for the next couple days afterwards. So we'll put up with it for that. Mentioning last week's game, the discussion on that will start right now. Manatee Hurricanes came into town undefeated, 6-0 when they walked in, and they had a lot of confidence. Rightfully so. They won some good games. They really didn't blow anybody out, and they didn't have like a big signature victory, but steady. Won the games on their schedule, 6-0, and they're coming into it, and they're also a 4S school, which that puts them ultimately in our region at some point in time. And the Indians came out with a 56-24 victory, and it pretty much, never felt in the game that there was that Venice didn't have a handle on things. Obviously, early on, it was what we expected to be sort of a puncher's, like little punch, counter punch thing. But once Venice got it rolling, it was hard to stop.
Yeah, I did watch that game, and you and Trey did a wonderful job. And Venice, I think they had over 600-plus total yards, and the offense was rolling. I hope we're going to do that again tonight and kind of roll into the playoffs in a good fashion like that. But I expect a little more resistance from Manatee last week, but Venice seemed to be the better team.
Yeah, and I think also, which I was a little surprised about, was the conditioning. Manatee seemed a little bit off for midseason. A lot of cramping. A lot of guys were down. I want to say at least double-digit stoppages for that stuff. But, part of the problem for other teams when they come in here is that tempo that Venice runs on offense is difficult to it's hard to mimic in practice.
Yes.
So you can go out there and say, oh, they're going to go fast, you're going to go fast. Well, do it for an hour and a half or do it for 2 hours.
Hard to mimic in practice, hard to also mimic as an announcer, too, trying to keep up, because they go so fast.
You so want to give everybody credit for a tackle and whatever it must be.
You want to recognize everybody you can.
Or looking down and looking up and the play's already run, you're like, who ran that one? That kind of thing. So, it's definitely tough to keep up, and I think that sort of wore Manatee down. And then you can see, fatigue sometimes generates frustrations because you're tired, you're aggravated. They're kind of relentlessly hitting you, and it stays that way. So there was a little bit of chippiness in that game, which you don't like to see too much. 2 of the Manatee players were thrown out of the game. And you get it, you understand it. You had this, came in 6-0, and all of a sudden you think, man, just give us a little time here with Venice, and we're good to go. And then all of a sudden, you look at the bad end of a
having
49,
your butt handed
56,
having your butt handed to you like that, it does create that. And
Right.
they're not too far away. They are rivals. They're across town. So, yeah, I could see that. But unfortunately, there were some incidents that you mentioned
Right.
that shouldn't. And hopefully we get a clean game tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's the case. And it was good to see that Coach Peacock called him to the sideline just to remind him, let's not engage. We got bigger fish to fry. We don't want to do anything silly. And they didn't. He didn't do too much of that stuff. A little bit of stuff like maybe, back and forth, jibber-jabbering, and you get a offsetting penalty situation. But nonetheless, it was a good game, a good victory. I will say this, going over the game, the offense stayed on their roll. You said 600 yards of offense, but spreading the ball out, 6 different receivers touching the ball again. Led by Jace Barksdale and also Griffin Gasati. Jace, again, has been performing really, really well for the Indians, playing that slot receiver for the Indians. So to say with Griffin, and 4 catches each guy, each with a touchdown. And when you see those guys, and you got C.J. Lewis on the outside as well, and Brian Matulovic, man, what are you choosing from? And they run both Jace and Griffin run nice routes. Not afraid to go over the middle. Good run after the catch guys as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the video now that you're watching. It looks like a little Cooper Kupp clone right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the routes are precise. The hands are there. The after yards are right there as well. And it looks like the offense is progressing as the year gets towards the end. I think Coach Peacock is going to be very happy about how the offense has looked from week 1 till right now.
Right, and Nick, you said you're watching a little bit of Jace Barksdale's highlights right here. You see, most of his catches, he's coming across the middle, and so you got to be brave. You got to be a guy who's not afraid to take contact, and also he does. First time I saw him down in Naples in the spring, I thought he was a linebacker, initially, and I'm like, he's a thick kid, but again, he's got that offensive skills. He can make moves up the field and does a nice job when he does get his hands on the ball. So. Both Jace and Griffin had a great game on Friday night, both with a touchdown again and 4 catches.
It looks like everybody's playing tonight. There's no big health issues
No.
for any Indians that you know of, correct?
No, I think everything's okay. Knockwood will keep that being the case. And I think also the fact of the matter is that coach is good about getting guys in the game late in the game when there's time to sort of get a little break. Or maybe you got to get a lead and you get your second stringers in there. They get a chance to play. They practice hard. They do everything like they're supposed to, so they get in there, and it's good to see that happening as well. Also, on the other side of the ball, the defense seemed to find their stride last week. Defensive line especially played well. One of the guys I had my eyes on early in the year, sophomore Shari Charles, defensive end, seemed like he just was like a hair off. Maybe just missing a sack, or maybe just kind of blowing by a play or whatever. Last week, man, he was laser focused. He seemed like every time he came upfield, he was. It was no doubt. There was nowhere for the quarterback to go with his 2.5 sacks.
I've definitely noticed his name being said a lot more often as the year has gone by. He's looking strong. He's got a great career in front of him. So we'll see how long he plays today, depending on how the game goes. But great job by the defense last week and complement the offense well. Almost, I'm going to say the perfect game, but it was close to perfect as you can get almost.
And again, he's a sophomore, Shari is, so he's got a couple years left, and he's a big kid. I think he's already almost 6'3", 6'4" at this point. Just a matter of how much he's going to bulk up and what he's going to do, and everything comes down to the offseason for these kids now. And they all know it. You have a good regular season. You look like you're getting your skills put together, and you put 20 pounds of weight on in the weight room, and you get that so much stronger, and the game gets a little easier after a while.
And that's a big difference from like way back when. It's 11th month. It's 11-month job now for these players.
Yeah.
They might get a month off, in the season, but they're all, even their month off, I guarantee they're doing physical things to stay in shape as well. So the conditioning program, the weight program that Venice has is top of the line. So, and you can see it with these players.
Yeah.
I'm amazed every time I walk by and see the size of these guys compared to back in the day when when we played.
When you had a guard who was 5'9".
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
When the average weight was
they're 5'9" now, they're 280 pounds. It's a whole
exactly.
different 5'9". But no, and these kids are, again, I talk about the defensive line, defensive and offensive line. They're having to stay as conditioned as anybody else. I mean, that tempo isn't just that the other team's getting tempo. You got to be, those offensive linemen are in hell of a good shape.
And it's funny, too, if you ever watch College Game Day or NFL, they always talk about when they play in Florida, how hot it is and how we don't like playing here because it's too rough on the players. These guys are getting used to it.
Right.
It gives them a big advantage, of course, when they play teams from come up come from the north, exactly.
You know, you'd be surprised how much you, like I said, even late in the year, the teams haven't seen the tempo. It's hard to replicate. I remember talking to the Cardinal Newman coaches, and they said we spent the entire offseason practicing for you guys, and we're going to keep on practicing that way because we found ourselves at an advantage as well doing that stuff. So that's what happened. Or Cardinal Gibbons. I said Cardinal Newman or Cardinal Gibbons?
I said Cardinal Newman, but
yeah,
yes.
Cardinal Gibbons.
Yes.
So they did it, and it worked out for them, and I don't see why everybody wouldn't do the same if it seems to work. But
it's hard.
It does take a lot to transition to it.
It is hard, and it takes a buy-in for the players in a program. It doesn't happen overnight. It's over a period of time.
Physical and mental as well with that.
Absolutely.
With that, we'll take our first break and then I can come back. We'll talk about tonight's matchup with the Sailors, a little bit about history of some of the Sarasota Sailors, and history of what maybe what we remember from back in the day when Venice used to play Sarasota as well. So with that, we'll take our first break of the night and come back here on the VSN Network and Vibrant Aspect Media in a little bit.
It's Maverick for our friends at Tommy's Express Car Wash. You won't find a better wash than at Tommy's Express. 3 minutes in and out to save you time. With Venice now open, Tommy's now has 8 convenient locations in the area and many more to come. Join the Tommy Club here and you're a member at them all. Text the word WORKS to 52884 and get a free Works wash. Good luck this season, and go Indians!
It's the Out of This World sales event at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram, and we just launched the most stellar deals of the year. It's Jeep season, so blast off in the new Jeep Compass Limited from only $339 per month. Or leave the world behind in the new Jeep Grand Cherokee from $429 per month. It's Ram season, so shoot for the stars in the new Ram 1500 Quad Cab from only $369 per month. Don't miss the Out of This World sales event going on now at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice. Who has Out of This World savings? Douglas does!
Tri-County Land Development, servicing the Charlotte, Sarasota, and Manatee areas for over 19 years. Quality workmanship in residential and commercial site development ensure that what you need is done right the first time. Tri-County Land Development.
And we're back here at the Powell Davis Stadium in Venice High School campus, and just talking a little bit about before we get into kind of prepping and saying, hey, back in the day, Sarasota, man, they had some good ball players back in the day. Before we get started on tonight's matchup, you threw some names out before we got started, and so
I did.
Some guys and where they did and how they ended up.
Well, Sarasota, if people don't know, and John, you're going to recognize a lot of these names, has a really rich history, just like Venice does, of great players in the past, and you may not remember, or you might forget some of them. But I'm going to name a few, and John, tell me if you still remember some of these guys that went to Sarasota High and either went to a great college or a big college, or in some cases the NFL.
But those guys, when they were playing, these names are like, that's the guy. That's the guy in the area. You know, the names.
Okay, I'll start with one of the biggest ones back when I first moved down here. Rosie Snipes was a Sarasota running back. Went to FSU.
He was special. FSU. I mean, he ended up playing for the 49ers for a little while, and then he ended up some other issues. But he was when he played at Sarasota, man, I never forget that. 1980.
Him versus Pete Panton.
Oh, that was
goal line. Yes.
Those were the days when everybody lined the fence, and it seemed like there was a million people.
I was sitting right down there watching it.
No doubt, it was a great one. No, Rosie was a player for sure.
More recent running back Mike Ford was a great running back for Sarasota back in the day, and I want to say in the 90s, late 90s.
I mean, he was so big and fast. I mean, he was a load, and I mean that guy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you were happy if you could hold him to 200 yards. That he was that caliber of a guy.
A couple other names I'll throw out there real quick. Tim Johnson, defensive lineman.
So I'm going to stop you. So I know you said real quick.
Yeah.
Tim Johnson, there was a thing called Buck Day back in the day when the Buccaneers would come down. It was like a spring event, and you ran through. The Buccaneers would come down. All different players would come down, and they would just run you through some drills. Doug Williams was there. A guy named Sean Farrell, who was a big
offensive
guard.
Yep. Had forearms like this.
Yeah, Tim Johnson was he was like a junior defensive tackle, and all these offensive linemen were standing there, and Tim Johnson was standing there with him, and you didn't know he was in high school. He wore construction boots like these really on the football field. I mean, he just totally devastated people, and he went on to, like I said,
Penn State.
to Penn State. He was one of the most physically imposing. I can tell you that all my friends growing up, everybody they played one game against, one quarter against Tim Johnson in a jamboree, and they all had something. They all had, he did this to me. He spun my helmet around. He broke my face mask.
He pancaked me. Yeah, I'm proud of that.
Just a one-man wrecking crew. I never forget that guy. And a really long NFL career.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes. Another Paul Porowski, FSU linebacker.
Yep.
Really good player. Jimmy DeBose for the
Gators.
Gators and also the Bucks.
Yep.
Oh, great
One of
player
the original
for Sarasota.
Buccaneers, I believe,
That's
are close
true.
to it. Yeah.
Yep. Herb Haygood,
Michigan State.
Michigan State wide receiver. Also had some time in the NFL. David Daniels, Penn State, another great receiver Sarasota had.
Yep.
Chico Nelson, great hard-hitting defensive back, went to Ohio State.
Yeah, and he was a contributor in some of their those good national championship level Ohio State teams.
Very good. Cedric Saunders, also a great player, is now. I think he played in Detroit for a while.
Yeah, you said I was. That's one of the names you kind of stumped me on. I could have just been not paying attention for a little bit. You know how that happens every once in a while.
Yeah, but those are some players from the Sarasota's history that, and then they have a rich one. Now, unfortunately, coming into this game tonight, 0-6 Sarasota. How do you see this playing out? And I will say one thing, and then looking at some of the positives, they did lead Manatee early in the game when they played them a couple weeks ago. They were only down by 7 points, or I think a touchdown at halftime, and lost by 2 touchdowns, I believe.
Right.
But unfortunately, 0-6. Not too many offensive juggernaut games. In fact, they've scored a total of 97 points and gave up 210. So not a great outing so far for Sarasota, but this is their first district game.
Yeah.
Being that it's only 3
Right.
in the district. So
They're still in it.
yep. So how do you feel about that? Yeah.
Well, like I said, my research is always I get the chance to talk to Coach Peacock on Tuesday nights when we're taping the coaches show,
Yep.
and I always ask him like, "What do you see? What you looking at?" And he's very honest about it, and he had nothing but praise for Coach Phillips and his staff and the Sarasota team. Matter of fact, he's like, like he said, don't look at the record in this game. He's like, really don't look at the record. He said they said the word he used is like he was finding the word. He said they're gritty. He says they run hard. They play hard. They tackle. They're not a team that you see sometimes team 0-6 say they sort of have given up or whatever. And he says no way, shape, and form is this team given up. They are a tough team, and he says we're expecting a full battle this week. And so that speaks highly of Coach Phillips. And so that's a big part of what when you're trying to change culture, new coach, first year in the program. You're trying like heck to get everybody to buy into what you're doing. So if you can kind of get that part of it worked out, the effort level is there. Man, it means so much to move things moving forward. You'd like to see him not tonight, for the Venice fans, but you'd like to see him maybe even have a chance where they can, get a win under their belt or do something along those lines, because that'll lead to I think a better off-season program. Kids will want to buy in a little bit more, and so that's good. When they came down for our media day, the two young men he had come down were just very well spoken, very polite, and again that led to a lot. You look at it and see that's a reflection of their coach. So I think that's a big part of it, and I trust Coach Peacock's evaluation. So I would suspect tonight that, and we've played him a couple times the last couple of years, and we play him all the time because of the district, but they've got out to leads almost every time we played him, just because they're playing hard, they're tackling hard, they're making plays. Just an attrition rate on the games before this. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to the game, that's for sure.
Well, they 2 running backs, Nate Wells and Jackson Mullet is his name. They both average about 50 yards a game. Those are the lead running backs. Yeah. There you go, wide receiver Ziegler, who averaged about 85 yards a game receiving. Right. So that's who the Indians will probably focus on. And their quarterback is Johnny Squateri.
Yes.
Interesting name. Averaged about a little over 100 yards passing a game, and also runs as well. So those are 4 of the main guys you'll probably handle the ball the most with the Sarasota as far as the skill positions.
I'd be interested to see too, kind of how most people try to slow Venice down a little bit if they don't concentrate on again the short passing game, and they.
I would even do the tempo thing, John. I would.
Yeah.
I would make sure I wouldn't snap it until maybe 7, 8 seconds left. Slow the game down,
right.
and maybe you get a turnover here, a turnover there, and good things can happen in that manner.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too with Venice. When you know teams are going to do that, I've probably said it every game this year. But if you win the coin toss, do you take the ball and get out and get a lead, and then make them chase you as opposed to them having a chance to run 8 minutes off the clock, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because when you don't score and they run 8 minutes off the clock and they kick a field goal, now you're in a rush to get your points. You know what I mean? So that can play into that.
Yeah, and honestly, if there was a point spread for high school games, it'd be very high. Venice is a big favorite. We know that. So, it's a chance for Venice on the other side of the ball to really refine their game, potentially get some younger players there and then get some experience in that manner. So,
and I really think it's really a chance for the defense to keep on building on what they've done. I mean, because you get that momentum with the defense, and everybody starts to be in the right, because defense is reactionary in so many ways. But when you start getting to the ball a half a second quicker, you're not thinking too much. You're playing more that way. Man, that defense can be really, really good. Led in there by again like a kid like Eli Seed, who's meant Johnny on the spot, who's done a real good job in inside linebacker. And this year having the 2 D1 corners that really help you in a situation where you can lock them down individually and put 9 guys up against the run is really something that helps you as well.
That's exactly. But I'm looking for a disciplined game from Venice.
Yeah.
I want minimal penalties, minimal 15-yarders or show-off penalties, I'll call them.
Right.
I want to see the clean game, establish a lead, go into halftime with a couple touchdown lead if they can, and then maybe play some of the younger guys down in the second half and go that route.
No doubt. All right, with that, we'll take our final break before we go to the game. We'll come back and we'll talk about the keys to the game tonight, some things that we think that Venice or Sarasota, for that matter, need to do in order to have us to be victorious. With that, we'll be back here at Powell Davis Stadium after these messages.
What does Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram and Venice High football have in common?
The perfect team and the perfect lineup.
Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram will always go the extra yard, so you can score big with the area's best selection and savings. So if you're looking for a championship vehicle lineup
and a dealership that tackles the competition,
visit Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice.
And if you're looking for a championship football lineup, check out the Venice High football team.
Who supports Venice High football? Douglas does.
And we're back here at Powell Davis Stadium, and the band is coming on the field. So real quick, Bill, we'll run through this, and then we'll go silent so we can listen to the band play the alma mater and the national anthem. Three keys to watch. Will Venice mental be focused in tonight's game, playing an 0-6 team? I mean, there's something to the mental side of this tonight.
You know what? And then sometimes as a coach, it's hard to convince your players. You're spending all week telling them these guys are good. These guys are good. And they know what they're facing, but surprises can happen, and you don't want to be the one that looks back weeks later or even a year later or 5 years later, you know what, how did we lose to that team?
Right.
Or why did we play so bad and we let that one slip away? You don't want that to happen, so it's constant reminders and that kind of thing.
Absolutely, and I always say the same thing. You get 10 guarantees that you're going to play a game, so you want to make sure you take advantage of every one of those games that are on your schedule. Another one is going back to the defense. Will the D-line continue to win the line of scrimmage? Because they do. My goodness, Venice, the defense is second to none at that point. When you control and you're in the backfield and that whole running game, that takes care of that right there.
Yeah, ever since that first game where the defensive line looked, not well, and then when they got run over a lot by that.
By Armwood.
Armwood, yes. They've improved significantly, and there's guys in the backfield. They're making plays within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. They're not allowing big plays, so they definitely improved significantly from that game, and they're showing great promise going forward.
Just what you had said, the last point, I think it's been one of my keys almost the last 4 weeks. Can we please stop all the penalties? I mean, it's pre-snap stuff. First and 15, it seems to be the mantra, the first couple drives we have in the game. If you can stop that, I mean, so much lost yardage, plays that are like you're setting up all week to get these plays in place, and you get these penalties that kind of do that. And of course, like you said, let's not get to the ticky-tack stuff, the extra 15 yards when you don't need it, that kind of stuff.
Focus and discipline.
Yeah, no doubt about it. With that, we'll go silent now, so you guys can watch the band as they now play the alma mater, and then our national anthem. And we're back here with the kudos to the band with a great rendition of the national anthem and also of our alma mater. We have a celebrity who's here tonight being walked down the field right now.
His name Taylor?
No,
Is that it?
no, but I would,
not Taylor?
but we, so there, I would say that this,
Okay.
it's got to be pretty darn close to equal of Taylor's.
Really?
Right? Well, Miss USA. I mean, that's
true.
I mean, so Miss USA.
Newly elected, right?
Yeah, newly
Elected or
crowned.
crowned.
Don't forget his crown. It's Noelia. Noelia. Okay. I know I told you I would screw it up. We were talking before. I would say something crazy. Voigt. Noelia Voigt. And,
Familiar name.
Yes. So me, Bill, and I, we both know Jack Voigt, her father. Jack was a 1984 graduate, right in between our two classes, 83 and 85. Baseball player at Venice High School, baseball player at LSU.
Yep.
Was a World Series, College World Series, like all first team, all team, whatever he was.
Had a great series. Went on fire and home runs, doubles. Really took off, and then got drafted. Played in the MLB for quite
a number of years. I want to say close to 10 years at least. He was the ultimate all-purpose guy.
Yep.
He had a glove. I remember they did an article. He had a first baseman's glove, a catcher's mitt, outfielder's glove, and he had everything.
He basically was ahead of his time because a lot of these guys now are multi-type
He'd be the
players.
ultimate Tampa Bay Ray.
Yeah, too bad he
We but obviously
could have used him this year. Believe me,
definitely used him. But Johnny Oates was a manager back in the day for the Orioles and the A's, and I know anything for the Rangers as well. And I think Jack played wherever Johnny Oates was because Johnny used to use him for just about everything. And so Jack had a great career. Settled back here in Venice, and his daughter was a student here in the area. I think I read she was a Pineview student for a while as well, and now she is Miss USA, newly crowned, and she's from Utah. She lives in Utah, so she was Miss Utah. So I think it threw everybody off for like, what's the connection? It's Miss Utah. Well, there is a connection. Like we were talking about this as well. There's a lot of interesting things that happen in Venice. little nuancy things. You would never think a town
we could write a book about Venice, John and I could.
And like somebody says, you know that person? Like, well, I know this person. What's that game you play? 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, where you kind of somebody or whatever. I think in Venice it's like 3 degrees. I think you know everybody in Venice. You're some third generation cousin, or somebody, or somebody who's married to some.
And especially if you're in sports, you're going to run into somebody you see
no doubt
all the time.
So that's
congratulations to her. Where's she at?
Yeah, she's down there right now. She's talking to some of the water girls and the staffing down there. So kind of a cool thing to have her here. And
she should make an appearance in the booth and kind of get on the air with us. What do you think?
Listen, I will really mess up her name because I'll probably get nervous and look like a dummy. But no, it's really cool that she came back and is here to kind of just show herself and get back to the community she grew up in. And I'm sure everybody will be very warm and embrace her. Is
she going to participate in the coin toss?
She will be on the coin toss. Okay. I'm pretty sure. So we're just waiting for the cues because here come our captains right now. So we'll see what they've got here. So we're going with. I want to give you the names right now, rather than guess. That's number 88. That is Hudson Traeger. Number 81, Owen Keller. Number 18, that is Kian Lavelle. And number 15, Chad Fleming for the Indians. Now, we're going to have a little trouble tonight. The Sailors have the odd gray and orange colors, but I can kind of make them out right now. So number 1 is Joe Ziegler.
He's one of their best running backs.
Yep. Then you got 47 for them is Bradford Stowe or Stow. Number 13 is Johnny Squitieri. That's the quarterback. And number 32, is that 32? Yep, 32. That is Hayden McSwain. So there you go. There's the captains for both teams tonight. And so we're, again, looking forward to them come out from the field right now. And what's they've seen. There's Miss USA right there. Noelia Voigt. I did it. See, I made myself make sure I did it right that time.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, John.
Listen, sometimes you know you're going to mess it up, and then you do, and that kind of nice not to mess it up again.
Well, now they're doing the announcement.
How about this? How about you're the captain of the Venice captains right now?
The last time I did the game with you, they had the
You're
offensive
walking
lineman.
out there. You're walking out with Miss USA right now. I mean, for what 17, 16-year-old kid?
Well, these guys are focused. They're not looking at her, John. See, they're ready for the game.
You're gonna just push her aside. No, I doubt that. I bet you. I bet you for sure that Hudson Traeger is going to be. They're going to be talking. Oh, you walk Miss USA out.
Well, when you get a chance to talk to them after the game, be sure to mention it to some of these guys that are out there and
No
see
doubt.
that. Did they say anything to her? Did they have any conversations?
And they're doing a little bio on her right now, which is great. We actually have a special. I would even say we have a special guest. PA announcer tonight. Two of our, I try to make sure we have enough people around to do different things, and two of our PA announcers were sort of unable to make it tonight, so we went with Chuck Crabb. He's the PA announcer now for Brian Whitley and the Venice volleyball school team, but he was the PA announcer at the University of Indiana University for a number of years. Got to talk to him a little bit before the game. You and I were chit-chatting with him, and he was telling some stories.
He's got one of those voices, that kind of
yeah,
echoes.
not me. He's got a really cool voice.
He's got a great voice for announcing. Yes, he does.
So I think everybody's looking around going, what's going on up there? We went from the Brian Wheatley experiment during the Riverview game to the other guys, to John Masoni, and there she's flipping the coin into that beautiful Venice grass.
Which won't be there for much longer.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of conversation in the next year or so for sure.
And that's coming next year, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, well,
Year
actually the year after that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it starts to tear down in the January of 25. So Venice is taking the option
Deferring.
to defer.
Yep.
Which I understand. I mean, I always say, but it's the way to go. It's what you really should do.
The trend is these days is always defer and try to score last in the first half and then get the ball first in the second half.
Right.
That's a trend now, along with college and pros the last few years. But we'll see. Venice Indians are ready to break through the banner and come out firing in just a minute here.
Yeah, the Indians are getting ready to do their ever more popular, ever better entrance with the light show now, and once you start to think about what you can do next with these lights, I mean, there's some stuff that you can really do. Like, see, right now we're going totally dark. That's what we wanted to do. This is what we talked about.
And then reminds me of a basketball game, like a Bulls or something.
Right.
Right.
And come back to the lights coming on, and here come the Indians.
It used to be if you turn the lights off, it'd take another half hour to come on. Not so much anymore. Right?
Yeah, we talked about that a lot, because if they went out, you're like, well, that's 20 minutes right away from me.
Exactly.
They get warmed up again. What they were made of, I'm sure somebody knows, but there was nothing that was coming on quick. Now it's just a flick of a light switch, and there it goes. And now see if Jessica can get the stadium lights back on, and there they go, just like that. So very cool. That was the one we were
all run up here too. Exactly.
And it'll take about a half an hour for the smoke to go away, because it's so humid out tonight as the fog sets in.
I feel like I was walking against a cloud when I was coming in here today.
Yeah, so we're bragging about the weather last week, and it's that time of the year. You're in that transition mode for weather, and as long as it's not raining, we'll take a little humidity tonight. As long as we know it's going to be crystal
Well, you mentioned
clear
that Manatee
next
had
week.
some issues with cramps
Yeah,
last week.
yeah.
And how did I watched the game? I didn't see much with Venice. Really.
No, and because it really wasn't. Compared to tonight, it was nothing. Tonight's way more humid than it was last week. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see if that tempo does affect. Actually, the Indians took the ball, so they're taking the ball first.
The referee might have said something inaccurate.
So that's again maybe what I thought would be maybe a way to go, so you can get on the board quick, hopefully, and then you don't have to wait to get it, or we'll see what happens. So back deep for the Indians is number 2 C.J. Lewis and number 23 Griffin Gasati. Kicking off for the Sailors, number 17, that is Andrew Clayton.
And we noticed he had a big leg in pregame warm-up. So
Yeah.
we'll see where this ball goes here.
You would think I'd go in the end zone based on how he was doing his warm-ups. And he's just going to be a little short. Gasati at the 2, upfield looking for some blocks, makes a nice move. And almost had a chance to break it right there. Good tackle by number 45.
He was one step away from taking that one to the house.
Brian Klingel. So that was close. Casati with it.
Nice.
We talked about him in the pregame
Great
about how
return
he's
then.
got some.
Yeah.
He's got the yard after the catch kind of moves. Him and Jace Barksdale.
And the thing he did well there, he made one cut and he headed upfield. So nice job on return.
You definitely want to do that because a lot of moves don't work too well. This year, some sort of 4-1 sprinter who can get around people. You make one cut and you're on your way. So 1st and 10 Indians, and that is Ryan Downs starting at quarterback. Is
that a surprise for you?
No, he's been kicking off with some stuff right away.
Double reverse.
Hand off to Zakar Lewis, and he may not be caught. He kept his balance. And touchdown.
Opening play, double.
Are they calling him? They're calling him down, just short of the goal line.
Okay.
Cannon's going off, lights are going off, and got to save that for the next play or two.
Well, I'm not sure, John. Are they calling him down or is it a touchdown? It's hard to see.
They're calling him down because kickers just come back off again.
Okay. Wow.
So 1st and goal they're calling it the 2-yard line.
Scripted play, first one, double reverse, pitch back.
And no penalty, so it gets called back and it'd be a 72-yard penalty or whatever it would have been. So hand off to Gator Wilder, and he takes it in for the 2-yard touchdown.
Okay, 2 plays, left no doubt there.
No doubt about it. So that was give him a 68-yard run and then a 2-yard run for Gator Wilder to make it 6-0 early in the game. 11:23, as a matter of fact, in the first quarter. Josiah Akerdepani in for the extra point for the Indians.
You perfected that name now, John. I'm proud of you.
It's
good job.
Just like Noelia.
Oh, they're going for 2.
Oh, quick double play. Wow, okay. So it ended up being an extra point. So we'll go extra point there for the Indians on a little backwards pitch.
So John Peacock's done his bag of tricks
to
really
Casati,
okay.
to Lewis. Yeah.
You know what's great about this, too? When Venice plays teams down the road, looks at film.
They got to look back, wait for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So 8-0 Indians with 11:23 left in the first quarter. Yeah, and you're right, Bill. So that's a good point to make because a lot of people say, nowadays films are everywhere. Huddle passes films around. Everything is what it is. And so you now if they're going to watch it, once you watch something that we concocted on Game 7, so you got to plan for that.
Oh, yeah.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Defensive coach, okay, be aware of this. They might try this. It just puts one more thing in your heads and maybe confuses you, stops you from taking one step this way or one this way, and then you can fly by them.
And Trey Burton actually said that he was talking about it in the NFL. They did that's what they did. They put plays in so people had more time spent on game planning.
The Philly special was a good one. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
that's for
heck
sure.
Yeah! Forever in the annals of Super Bowl and NFL history. Akerdepani with the kick. Likes to kick that ball short into that corner, and it bounces and picked up and dropped immediately on the play.
That was effective, though. They were back a little too far. He dropped it in front of him, and they grabbed him as soon as he picked it up.
That was Mullet on the return, and I think it was Jones who got down there. Actually, no, it's Platt and Jones on the tackle. So that's a good job on the kickoff return, or kickoff coverage, I should say. 1st and 10 Sailors at their 16-yard line. We're going to deal with a little fog on the windows tonight, so if we're a little slow, it's because we really can't see out some of these windows.
Little muggy out, little condensation.
AC and muggy air makes do. That is Squatari in the shotgun. Quick snap and throw complete to number 11. That is Wells.
Nathan Wells, one of the receivers we talked about pregame. Throws to him a lot. Good opening play, safe play. It's a 5-yard turnaround, catch and turn around, and looks like he has a first down.
Yeah, 10-yard play, first down Sarasota. That was Dalton and Fleming on the tackle. So 1st and 10 at the 26. A motion. That's Squateri got a kind of a pistol look. Quick throw out to the Masham, which is Wells again, who's carrying.
Yeah, Wells is not a
Judson.
not a small guy. He looks like he's got some meat on him. So
Kane Judson on the tackle.
another safe throw right across the line of scrimmage, but he does pick the defender up and takes him for a gain of 5.
A 4-yard gain,
Yep.
yeah. 2nd and 6 at the 30-yard line.
So right now they're getting the ball out quick and negating any kind of pressure from the Indian front.
Yeah, because again, they must have watched a little film and seen that Venice was getting their groove on last week with the defensive line getting pressure. Again, in motion, back the other way. Quick handoff at Ziegler on the carry. Brought down by that's Lee in the tackle, Chris Lee. So we're going to give him 4 yards, and it'll be a 3rd and 2 for the Sailors at their own 34-yard line.
And for the Sailors, very important they get at least another first down or 2 and not be stuck in their end of the field for the first quarter or the first half. But so far, they're moving it fairly well.
Motion again. Hand off to Ziegler. Looked like he didn't want to hand it off, and Ziegler kind of took it from him, but he may have got the first down anyway. Galloway and Seed on the tackle.
So a miss handoff.
You can see like he wanted it back, like maybe an RPO of some sort, and I think he got enough yardage for the first down. Another 2-yard gain, and they'll keep the chains moving. So this is what Sarasota would want to do. I mean, again, they're just 4 yards, 2 yards, 8 yards, 6. Just kind of keep on moving that ball, run that clock down a little bit.
And they're not rushing, John.
No.
We talked a little bit before about it. They are taking their time a little bit, running the clock. That's the way they have to play this game against the Indians.
And this helps the defense too. You got to they're getting their act together on the sidelines right now, getting a little rest. Terry scrambles and is brought down for a loss. That's Seed and Judson on the tackle.
Yeah, nice job by Judson containing him on the outside. He looked like he almost had a lane, but that was closed down quickly. So no gain or
loss of 1.
Loss of 1.
Yeah, don't forget you got those beautiful yard markers across the way. If you're ever not quite sure, all GPS'd up, run by your brother-in-law.
Yeah, the guy with the number 2 underneath him, underneath that.
So 2nd and 11 for the Sailors. Same motion again. Hand off to Ziegler. Pushes the pile up field. Brought down by, looks like Downs and Galloway with help from his linebackers as well.
All right, so big play coming up now.
Make that Daly and Galloway.
3rd and 7. I would expect them to probably try one of those quick throws again.
Yeah, something where you're going to get him, maybe a limit, maybe a 2 from that pistol, maybe a play action on this one. And rolling, pass is incomplete, broken up by Fleming.
That's going to be the issue. If they're going to do a drop back pass, they're not going to have much time.
He was on him in a heartbeat. And that was Wells again. So Wells is the popular target tonight.
Yeah, he ran about a 12-yard route, but the Indians covered it up nicely, and there was nowhere to put the ball there.
So that the kicker is also the punter. That's Clayton in as the punt for the Sailors. Back deep for the Indians, they got 3 guys. They got I'm sorry, 2. Lewis was talking to the referee. I wasn't sure who that was. Decent kick. Bouncing around and jumped on by number 9, Chris Espinel at the Venice 33-yard line, where the Indians will take over 1st and 10.
Well, good start for the Indians, just as they hoped they'd want it. Touchdown on the first drive, 2 plays. Gave up a couple first downs, but defense did stop them when it mattered. Interested to see how they're going to handle this 2nd series.
Always, that first series can be a little tricky. You never know what they're going to pop and throw on you in that first series, like Venice did. So we'll see if the Indians come out again. You still got Ryan Downs at a quarterback. Got a flag on the play. There's our flag.
First one of the day.
Or was it no flag?
Nope, not the first one. Waving it off, which is
So maybe-
odd because they stopped the play.
Yeah, maybe they didn't start the clock yet or something along those lines. Hand off to Johnson. Breaks it out to the left. Continues to run up to about the 39-yard line. So gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Indians go fast. Downs keeps it up the middle, hard run, close to a first down.
And you can tell, John, they're getting good push up front by those linemen. I think Downs got touched. It was 5 yards down the field.
McSwain on the tackle, first down Indians. There's, Downs. Good, a little overthrown, but not a bad throw. I mean, that's a tough one to be rolling out to your right and trying to hit somebody who's running a deep corner route. Just a little overthrown on that one.
Yeah, a little hard to keep up. They're running quick, that's for sure. Play clock usually is between 20 and 30 seconds when they're snapping the ball to the Indians.
So 2nd and 10, and the whole line moved. That one will be on the Indians. The 5-yard variety. When you go in tempo and you just you can't get yourself sort of in gear, I guess you would say. I understand why they happen.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You got to practice that because those kind of mistakes happen a lot.
So Whistle blows the play in, and Johnson gets the handoff, and he runs back to the original line of scrimmage, somewhere close to it. Yep, he got the 5 back that they lost on the other play. So it's 3rd and 10, or they're marking 3rd and 11 for the Indians at the 43-yard line. Downs got the pass, rolls out to his left, moves. He's got somebody open downfield. That's Casati. He got it, and he's down to about the 5-yard line.
Very nice throw. He dropped that ball right in his lap.
Frauheiger on the tackle, but a great throw from Ryan Downs.
See how far he threw this one in the air. He started the 35 and dropped it right on about the 15.
So that's a 50-yard.
Yeah, 50 yards in the air.
Rolling to his left.
Rolling to your left. That means you got a strong arm.
So 1st and goal at the 5 for the Indians. Quick handoff to Alvin Johnson, and he is stopped for a loss on the play. Nice play that's McSwain again.
Yeah, when you win those trap plays, when you pull a guard, if you don't get upfield quick, you can get stymied in the backfield, which he did.
So it's a loss of 1. 2nd and goal from the 6. Handoff quick again to Johnson. It takes it down to the 1. Gets 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and goal from the Sarasota Sailor 1-yard line.
That time, nice blocking, seal off by number 65, which is Brody Cleary.
And going one more time, I'd say it's Alvin again. And it is, but he didn't get there. If he did, he barely did. They're running him from the left-hand side. The referee is.
I think he's just short.
He's just short.
You expect him to go for it, John, correct?
I would be very surprised if not, because leaving them on the 1-yard line with an 8-0 lead is not the scenario you want, but it's not terrible either. Downs keeps it, and he is in for the touchdown. Ryan Downs with a 1-yard touchdown run for the Indians. Well, like I said, just kept that tempo up. Nice job with that, and even though Sarasota put up a good goal line stand, it's if you've stood next to Ryan Downs, he is a big young man. So
and a big arm.
Big arm
as you saw
also.
in that throw. Yeah, big plays once again. 2 big plays set up short touchdowns, and Indians look like
going
go
for two again. Yep, going for 2.
I wonder if that's something they're practicing for potentially down the
Something
road.
to show. I know it's something to show.
Or even use as an option to get extra points.
Downs on the carry and gets it in for the 2-point conversion. So with another 2-point conversion, the score is now 16-0 Indians with 4:39 left in the first quarter. So there you go. So you just it was like almost spread him out a little bit, and he just followed his lead blocker and then just scraped off it and got in the end zone. And he's their short yardage guy.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So unless you have two guys ready to meet him at the front, you're not going to stop him. He's going to get hit by one guy and just fall over for a half yard easily.
So things are fast and furious. We haven't taken a commercial break yet, Francis. So if you want to, we'll wait after this because we probably have a water break coming up here shortly. Yeah. So we really haven't had much time out. So just pace, which, I mean, I'm sure that's to the pleasure of Coach Peacock that this game is continuing to roll as it has.
Yeah, if you're Sarasota, you like you said, you blinked and it's 16-0 right now, and it feels like you really haven't got started, and they haven't. But they get their second opportunity right here. But we'll see what kind of strategy they employ this time.
Short down to the 19-yard line, picked up by number 2. That's Mullet. And now here's our first time out of the night. I believe it's a water break for everybody. So we'll look at this highlight or this replay right here real quick. It was brought down by Lee on that play. So we'll take a quick break. Be back here for see what Sarasota was back to their short passing game. Be back here in a few.
What does Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram and Venice High football have in common?
The perfect team and the perfect lineup.
Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram will always go the extra yard, so you can score big with the area's best selection and savings. So if you're looking for a championship vehicle lineup
and a dealership that tackles the competition,
visit Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice.
And if you're looking for a championship football lineup, check out the Venice High football team.
Who supports Venice High football? Douglas does.
Tri-County Land Development, servicing the Charlotte, Sarasota, and Manatee areas for over 19 years. Quality workmanship in residential and commercial site development ensure that what you need is done right the first time. Tri-County Land Development.
And we're back here 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Quick pass with Terry, complete. And out to about the 39-yard line, dragged down by, it was Ziegler, dragged down by Dalton, Carter Dalton on the tackle.
So it's one of those wide receiver screens where you got blockers in front of you. He was patient enough to wait for some of those blocks, and the quarterback gave him a good ball to handle. So good play, positive first down for Sarasota.
Quick throw, he had blockers out there. It's well designed. 2nd and 1.
They're short yard, my bad.
Hand off to Ziegler. Gets the first down. Tripped up by Seed with help from Downs or Daly. First down Sailors. Sticking with their game plan. I mean, it's a short passing game. There's nothing wrong with keeping that ball out of the Venice Indian hands at this point.
No, absolutely. And I'm just wondering if they have any big play opportunities in them. But that's what's going to take for them to stay in the game. But they can, say, make it less worse.
Yeah.
If they control the ball a little bit and move the
ball.
ball.
Oh gosh, boy, that ball was well thrown, just a little bit behind him. And if he could have just reached back and got it, that was Mullet on that play.
And we just mentioned a big play. That could have been one if the throw was a little better.
Kind of caught Papatanakis sort of flat-footed.
Yep, he had an opening there.
He did an opening, so that would be something to keep an eye out. Maybe that play show up a little later on again. A little better throw might have had him to the house. 2nd and 10, Sailors. Probably that pass from Downs to Casati was 52 yards. I had a chance to add that up before. Had a quick throw. Pass intended for number 4.
Surprised there wasn't maybe potentially interference there because it looked like he was riding him a little bit. But
Franklin Crawford. He was just, I mean, it's the left hand that could have been called.
But they kept it in their pocket, it looks like.
They're saying just incomplete pass, so it's 3rd and 10. Platt's a big guy too. I mean, he's a tall guy, so I think a little bit with him is that he's I mean, he kind of like looks so like overbearing on the guy that he can.
Unfortunately, we don't have several angles to look at.
Yeah, but from this view, I mean, it definitely looked like pass interference to me. So Terry rushed this time, and he gets away. Oh, didn't get away. So that's Lee on the blitz, along with the Shari Charles on the sack.
Yeah, he just blew by that tackle to start the sack process.
And we'll give Galloway a hand on that one as well. So ball is marked back at the 33-yard line, loss of 10. And they're going to, penalty on the play. See what that was.
It's going to back him up a couple yards. Yeah, false start.
Yeah, 5 more yards. So now ball back at the 28-yard line, 4th and 25. And Clayton's going to have a little bit more of a kick to make it. I like having the short guy there too. And I think that's where Gassati's right there. He's running away from it.
Yeah, he could have stepped up.
I thought he could have caught that one.
Yeah,
might have saved about 20 yards on there, but safety on that one, being cautious,
Yeah, and it may not seem like a big deal now doing this, but when they do play,
they're going to have to start
playoffs,
catching punts.
Yes, they are. That's 20. If they let 15, 20 yards go by, you do that 2-3 times a game. That's 50, 60 yards. You're losing a game. So I'm sure they'll be working on that.
So last week was the same thing. They were kind of letting the ball drop, and then C.J. Lewis picked it up and ran it back for a touchdown after we were complaining about nobody catching it. So kind of got us on that one. 1st and 10 from the 35. Hand off to Wilder. Up to the 38-yard line. It's topped by Prawl for the Sailors.
Are you surprised that Glasser is not playing right now, John?
No. I mean, this was always sort of. I think Downs was always going to get his hand on a starter, a couple starts this year. Wilder again on the carry. They were definitely honing in on him, and he goes nowhere. I think Perez was in on that tackle. Where's it? 31. Cook. So no gain. 3rd and 7. And fake hand to Wilder. Downs to throw. Finds Barksdale wide open. Down inside the Sailor 45-yard line.
Yep, nice route. He found a little open spot between the front line and the back of the defense. And under pressure, another good throw right to him. So I'm impressed by Downs and how he's throwing the ball today.
So 1st down, 1st and 10 at the 42. Quick handoff to Wilder. And there goes Gator Wilder for another touchdown. He is a touchdown machine the last couple of games.
And once again, you saw that one cut, and you saw an opening, and he jetted right through there.
Just runs so hard. I mean, everything's flying. Like 1 cut in the hole, and a good block right there too. And
say 2 cuts. Wow.
Yeah.
Not sure if he might have been touched once or twice, but nothing near him.
Looks like we're going to go for 2 again. And that's Ryan Downs taking it in for the 2-point conversion, which makes the score 24-0.
Yeah, man-on-man blocking. Everybody had a guy there. Walked right in.
I mean, this not only is this 2-point conversion stuff. This is short yardage goal line stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're working the goal line offense, and and you can the formation's been a little different each time. The little things they did, that the little handoff, lateral pass thing that they
You can
did.
get 1 extra point every time. 1 extra point and an extra point, another point every time, and you're good at it. Why not do it?
Right.
I mean, if you miss it once, you get it. If you get 50% of the time, you're even, right?
Absolutely right.
Poor kicker, though. Yeah, he doesn't get to pad his stats on the extra points. But yeah.
He'll lose the point total, the point scoring point. Oh, well, actually, Gator Wilder probably has that at this point. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Those extra points, they do add up. So Akadapani ready to kick off. See if he can get a little deeper this time. I know the coaches were saying a little bit just before that he wasn't getting it deep, but he's sort of getting underneath and did the same thing again. This one's even shorter at the 20-yard line. And gets outside, and that's Zarkowitz on the tackle of Mullet. Yeah, so you can see they kind of got lost that contain, but that was somebody kind of got him inside, and then obviously he did a good job of Zarkowitz came around and cleaned it up for him. All right, so 1st and 10, Sailors. Still 45 seconds left in the quarter. Not 4 minutes. I think 45 seconds is what it is. So 1st and 10 at the 30, or make that the 31. Jet sweep, handoff, and there's going to be a loss on that play.
And those kind of plays, if you take an extra step or dance, trying to avoid somebody backfield, that's going to be a negative play. And yes, it was nice shooting in the gap there by number 27, David Calloway.
And then Seed and Jones tidied that one up.
Yeah, and it's interesting because if you look at Venice's defensive formation, they have 8 to 9 guys within 4 or 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So,
and we were talking about that too. That's when you got those 2 corners that can cover so well.
yeah, and that's a good luxury to have.
And they
You
didn't
can do that. Yes.
So that's the end of the first quarter. They did not get the play up before the quarter ended. We'll take a break. Score after the first quarter: Indians 24, Sailors 0. See if the Sailors can get on the board in this drive after these messages.
It's Maverick for our friends at Tommy's Express Car Wash. You won't find a better wash than at Tommy's Express. 3 minutes in and out to save you time. With Venice now open, Tommy's now has 8 convenient locations in the area and many more to come. Join the Tommy Club here and you're a member at them all. Text the word WORKS to 52884 and get a free Works wash. Good luck this season and go Indians!
What does Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram and Venice High football have in common?
The perfect team and the perfect lineup.
Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram will always go the extra yard, so you can score big with the area's best selection and savings. So if you're looking for a championship vehicle lineup
And a dealership that tackles the competition.
visit Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice,
And if you're looking for a championship football lineup, check out the Venice High football team.
who supports Venice High football. Douglas does.
And we're back here at Powell Davis Stadium, enjoying the Douglas Jeep commercial. I don't know why I get a kick out of that shark when he puts a sign there. Just his flair, I guess, or whatever he does.
A little promo code, John. You do shows from there all the time during the week.
But no shark.
Well, you should ask for one.
2nd and 10, empty. Oh no, they brought Wells back in a little bit to help out.
So it's the first time I see them spread out. Sarasota maybe adjusting to Venice's front.
Oh, there's the pass they missed before. They got it that time.
That was a nice play, though.
No doubt.
So Venice has, like I said, been crowding the line. So Sarasota went no backs, opened it up a little bit, and found a spot in the defense for a nice game.
So tackled in there by, I think that is Brantley, who's in the play. He's number 13 tonight, but I think that is Brantley. Because it does look like Kenai, so I don't know for sure. But 3rd and 5.
So same formation, wide receiver screen, but knocked down, it looks like, by
Lee.
Yep.
Chris Lee.
Number 11.
So after the good 9-yard gain on the 3rd down play, the pass again to Mullet was knocked down. The ball is going to stay at the 37-yard line.
Back to the punt. I'll tell you something about punts. I used to return punts. It's kind of like an art form, and you have to practice it a lot. It's almost not comparable, but it's somewhat like being a center fielder in baseball when you have to judge where the ball's at and how high it is and who's coming at you.
Oh,
Fake.
fake.
Nowhere.
Nowhere to go. Seed along with Casati on the tackle.
So a snap to the up back who actually fumbled the ball in the process of the snap.
Is that Ziegler? I think it was Ziegler, too.
Ziegler, and he had no chance whatsoever. And, you know, I would expect Sarasota to do some plays like that to try to, shake the game up a little bit. But unfortunately for them, the running back didn't pick the ball up, and even if he did, he wasn't going far. It looks like Venice was controlled at the line of scrimmage, and they're ready for that.
So good special teams play right there for the Indians. They snuffed out that opportunity for a trick play for the Sailors. So 1st and 10 at the Sailor 27-yard line. There's Glasser in the game. He came in for the second quarter, and Glasser with a quick throw. And, just a little bit, I want to say he was short, but it's a little bit maybe underthrown a little bit or a little light, looked like he put a little more zip in it.
I actually thought he threw it very well based on where the defender was. He didn't want to throw it high for the tip. I think it could have been caught, but it was a tough catch for him to make.
Corner made a nice play, though, too.
Yes.
Glasser with a quick handoff to Johnson. Johnson is struggling to get about 3 yards, brought down by number 47, Bradford Stowe. We'll give him 2 on that one for a 3rd and 8 for the Indians from the 25-yard line. And Wilder comes in for this play. Glasser takes a snap, looking, throwing, and incomplete, that there is a flag on the play. So more than likely that's going to be like a hold or a pass interference because...
I believe it was when the receiver cut to the outside, he was
grabbed onto?
Yes.
Let's see what they come up
Unless I missed a push off, but I believe...
He's throwing it pretty quick. That's again the penalty.
So that threw the timing off on that, John. So
that'll be a distance to the goal.
Yep.
So 1st down, Indians on the penalty. It's ball at the 13-yard line. And we got a penalty flag on the Indians now, going the other direction. So we're getting a little sloppy here. See if we can get a control on that.
Another opportunity to pad this lead and have 4 successful drives result in touchdowns. So we'll see what happens here.
1st and 15 from the 18-yard line. Glasser with the ball, looking to throw. Plenty of time. Zipped it in there, but again, like a little bit, not a little late, but 27, number the corner out there. That is, I don't have a number 27, but he's done a nice job in the last couple of plays where he's been right there, coming over the top and making a nice deflection away from Lewis.
Yeah, he actually trailed that. It's like trailing a wide receiver going across the field. And when you do that, you want to stay on his hip. He did a very nice job of doing that and knocking the ball down. So good play.
Matthew Peevely coming off the field must be an equipment issue. It seemed like maybe something with his helmet there.
Now you see the corner do that, John. You try next. You do that. You do a Z out. So you slant in and then come out to the corner.
And he's as soon as he sees you break, you're good to go. Johnson on the carry, and he's got a big hole down to about the 8-yard line. Give him 10 on that one. They'll make it 3rd and 5 for the Indians. Brought down by the safety on the play. Can't see a number.
Okay, your prediction.
Is there a penalty?
Is there a penalty? Yes,
yeah, they're calling it back. Holding against the Indians. So now that's from the spot of the foul, so that's going to be a big one. 10 yards back.
I was going to ask you what's your prediction for this play that would potentially be a touchdown, but now they're facing something a little different. It's 2nd and long. 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd and long. And the throw is up, and that time 27 had it in his hands for the interception, and he missed it.
No, actually, that was second down. The penalty negated that previous play.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. It is second down. So it was 2nd and 23. Now it's 3rd and 23.
Yeah, he had a shot at catching that ball, but he was blocked a little bit by the defender, and it kind of snuck up on him and hit him. Didn't really see it right into his hands there. Lewis didn't.
Got to figure there's going to be a pass here, and Glasser gets the snap and looks to throw and goes back to the other side and finds Barksdale. There you go. Great throw and catch.
He almost got hit by the cannon there, John.
Everybody gets scared by the cannon at least once in their career at Venice High School. So 26-yard touchdown.
Now that was a great throw. He threw that where only he could catch it and nobody else. He went up and
would you call
plucked it out of the air.
Would you call it back shoulder a little bit because he's looking, or is it just he just never saw it, came over his head, and I mean just over the outstretched hands? That's just a great throw. Led him perfectly.
Grabbing an apple from the tree there, John. That was perfect.
Look, they're kicking. Sarka DePonte in for the extra point.
Well, he needs work.
He definitely does. There you go. It's good.
Good.
So with 9:53 left in the first half, your score: Indians 31, Sailors 0. And yeah, I mean, Glasser came in and went 0 for 3 to start with, trying to get the ball in a couple of spots where it looked maybe a tad underthrown, maybe a little bit, wasn't maybe his best throw, and then he goes and just puts a laser on Jace Barksdale's hand, and we get a nice 26-yard touchdown.
No, that was a very good throw. He had the penalty earlier where the receiver got held, but this throw right here you're seeing right now, just a perfect throw. And you know, Barksdale's not a 6'8" guy, but he does get up nicely and pluck, like I said, just pluck that right out of the air. It was that was a good catch.
And they both, I mean, I think if he could have picked Matulovic too next to him, he puts the ball there. I think Ryan probably makes a touchdown as well.
All right, so if you're Sarasota now and you're the offensive coordinator, what are you thinking and what are you trying to do right now?
I'll say this to you. They had a little success. I think I come out maybe a little bit more vertical passing, just a little bit. If they can protect Squitieri, that's the real issue. I think right now
yeah, it's got to be short.
The offensive line is losing the battle against the Venice defensive line. Ball stayed in bounds. Picked up by, that would be, who's on the tackle there? That's Jones and Corbett.
Yep, Corbett.
And that was Mullet again on the return.
That was a well-placed kick, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It died right at the 9-yard line.
That's a nice wedge into the green, and when you put it through the hole and it just stops right there.
Almost like you know how punters get so good at stopping the ball like that, or your wedge play in your golf game.
That's the shot you want right there. You can make that thing spin like that. So now, even worst case scenario, the Sailors are starting at their own 13-yard line.
So he's a lefty kicker, he's like a Nicholson.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
He's filled with his wedges. Hand off to Ziegler. Bounces it out to the left-hand side. Brought down by, say, Papatanakis and Zarkowicz. Give him a yard on that one.
No, I did lose track of Miss America where she went.
She wasn't going to stay the whole time.
Okay.
So I think she might have.
She has to perform her worldly duties.
What does she drive? I mean, is it a chariot or just a regular limo or?
Spread out now. Another wide receiver screen.
And Ziegler is going nowhere.
Well played by number
Carter Dalton.
28, Carter Dalton, yes. Fought off a block, got up, grabbed an ankle, held on, waited for help. Nice play.
Charles Lester also in there fighting his way through to the the runner.
That's textbook defensive back play, negating a screen like that.
Right.
Perfect.
So Dalton with there's a 2-yard loss on the play. So now it goes back, or a 1-yard loss. Goes back to the original line of scrimmage to the 13. So it's 3rd and 10 for the Sailors. 8:29 left here in the second quarter.
The running clock starts at what time, John?
35.
35.
Papatanakis going back to a little bit of a safety stoppage play. Delay a game. So the Sailors get caught. They were getting close a few times, and that time they got caught. So the ball goes back to the 8-yard line, where it's now 3rd and 15.
So obviously, Sarasota's overmatched on the line of scrimmage. They're trying things like wide receiver screens, short passes. Some worked a little bit, but overall, not much success.
When you're like what Dalton did on that play, that's never going to work now. That's a linebacker getting out there and making that stop. Quick throw to is that Wells again? I think it is. I think it's Wells. And
yes,
it is incomplete.
Attempt for him. Yes. Could have caught it.
It was close.
Yep, he could have put his hands up.
There were 4 Indians right there. There's
that was
no
one of
doubt about
those
that.
trying to catch it in his body instead of his hands. Have your hands out, your thumbs together, catch the ball, bring it in. Don't use your shoulder pad to try to secure a pass.
Isn't that a little bit though? You see 4 Indians sitting around you too. You're like, do I want to put my arms out that far?
True.
So there's a little protection on that one.
But he's going to get hit anyway. Might as well catch it.
Good high punt. See if they catch this one. Nobody's catching this one. Although it just hit somebody in the arm.
Could have hit an
Sailor.
Indian, but I don't think it did. It was very close.
And that's what happens too. You let that ball bounce around to me. That one time it's going to bounce right into somebody. It's like that one almost did. Here's a replay on it. Casati doesn't see it. Nobody's talking to each other, and it hits 22. Once that happens, it's dead ball right there.
Yeah, communication is tough on those punt returns as far as when you have short punts that are high like that. You almost need to be screaming. I'm sure the coaches were.
Yeah.
But it's tough to hear.
But when you're blocking somebody and you're talking junk to each other the way down the hole, then it's hard to hear that.
You almost have to disengage at some point and take a peek.
Yeah, where's the ball? So 1st and 10 at the Sailor 45. That's Downs back in, hands off to Wilder. Little high step and a little late hit, but they're not going to call that. Number 30, that's no number 30 on the team either, so we'll give Wilder a 2-yard gain.
A little Walter Payton high stepping there, but only a short gain, so they covered that edge nicely. Sarasota did.
2nd and 8. Downs with the snap, handoff to Wilder. Wilder make the big move right there, and there's a flag. It's going to be a hold.
It's going to be a hold. Yep. In the
Too
interior.
bad. He's probably going to score.
He's got some speed, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, he's as fast as he needs to be on a football field.
Well, it looks like he was running. Everybody else was had bags on their feet.
Yeah, I know.
That's what it looked like.
They called it right away. I think it's going to be a chop block. See how low he was, and he was engaged. I think it's. I mean, I don't think you intentionally do that, but then you see that big pile up. We'll see what they call it. I think it's going to be a chop block. Chop block. That's what it is.
When someone's engaged with an opposing player, you can't go down low on him and surprise
And sometimes they just fall into it, but they're going to call it every time, and rightfully so. It's to protect the player. That one was kind of obvious. I don't think there's going to be much argument from the Indian sidelines. That should be 15 yards, I believe. Yeah, it's 15.
Yeah, it is a dangerous play because that's when ankles and knees can get severely damaged when guys are flying at your legs like that. So it's a good rule.
Back to the Venice 42, where it'd be 2nd and 23.
Well, they had a lot of big plays so far, so this should be a problem for them, right?
Downs fakes to Johnson, out to Lewis. He puts the Jets on and gets some of the yardage back. Number 9, that's Espinel on the tackle. So gain of 5 brings up 3rd and 18 for the Indians at the 47-yard line. Hand off to Johnson, and he hit a wall that time. There was no room. That was number 30. I don't have a number on him, and I think it was somebody filled really quick and really hard.
Yeah,
and that's number 30. Nice play by him.
Crashed down as well and helped. So Venice is going to have their first punt of the game.
Judson into punt. He catches off a good punt. Fair catch at the 19-yard line. So that's a 35-yard punt inside the 20. That's a nice job. But you will take that all day. Make him have to fair catch it.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't fair catch. He probably could have got a few yards, not many, but anytime you can get anything between 35 and 45 yards with no return, take it all day.
We'll take a quick break with a water break on the field right now. Be back here, 31-0 Venice Indian lead. Be back here after these messages.
It's Maverick for our friends at Tommy's Express Car Wash. You won't find a better wash than at Tommy's Express. 3 minutes in and out to save you time. With Venice now open, Tommy's now has 8 convenient locations in the area and many more to come. Join the Tommy Club here and you're a member at them all. Text the word WORKS to 52884 and get a free Works wash. Good luck this season and go Indians!
Tri-County Land Development, servicing the Charlotte, Sarasota, and Manatee areas for over 19 years. Quality workmanship in residential and commercial site development ensure that what you need is done right the first time. Tri-County Land Development.
And we're back 1st and 10 at the Sarasota 19-yard line. That's Squitieri with a quick throw, and they're gonna call holding or pass interference on a throw that he was throwing to nobody.
He threw the ball before anybody recognized the ball was in the air, but the receiver didn't look like.
They're doing something.
That's the receiver ran out of bounds.
Let's see. Pass interference, Venice.
Oh, okay.
So that's a 15-yarder. So it's plus 15 for the Sailors. First down.
Looked like he did impede him off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if it was one of those that they did it on purpose, but whatever it was a nice 15-yard gain and a first down.
And then the thing about defensive backs being close like that, you have the option of getting in their face right at the line of scrimmage, or you can play off him and come back and mix your game up. But that time he's right on the line of scrimmage and got tangled up with him.
Ziegler on the carry. Turns it upfield. Dropped by Lee along with Zarkowitz and Jones. Two-yard gain, 2nd and 8 for the Sailors. 5:51 left in the first half. Pretty much the first team defense is still in there right now.
Yeah, and you expect that too, because you can't rest your players and get them out of shape. Practice keeps you in shape, but there's nothing like game-like situations which keeps you sharp. If you're only playing a quarter or a quarter and a half,
it doesn't. Yeah.
Bad things going to happen down the road.
I agree. Maybe timeout Sailors. 5:20 left in the half. We'll take a timeout as well. Be back here, see if the Sailors will keep this drive going.
It's the Out of This World sales event at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram, and we just launched the most stellar deals of the year. It's Jeep season, so blast off in the new Jeep Compass Limited from only $339 per month, or leave the world behind in the new Jeep Grand Cherokee from $429 per month. It's Ram season, so shoot for the stars in the new Ram 1500 Quad Cab from only $369 per month. Don't miss the Out of This World sales event going on now at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice. Who has Out of This World savings? Douglas does!
It's Maverick for our friends at Tommy's Express Car Wash. You won't find a better wash than at Tommy's Express. 3 minutes in and out to save you time. With Venice now open, Tommy's now has 8 convenient locations in the area and many more to come. Join the Tommy Club here and you're a member at them all. Text the word WORKS to 52884 and get a free
2nd and 8 for the Sailors. Squitieri takes a quick throw.
Another wide receiver screen.
Yeah, that time they blocked him. But again, Carter Dalton there on the tackle.
That one was a little different in the fact they only had one guy blocking and they didn't put the whole posse out there trying to lead him down the field. So there was a nice little kick out block. Didn't get much, but looks like he picked up 3, John.
Yep, Franklin Crawford on the catch. So it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Sailors at their own 40-yard line. But that's what they started the first a little bit. They were getting 4 yards here and there. Then it kind of went a little south on them. See if they can keep that up with this drive.
And what they can do, if they have the opportunity and some time, do one of those fake little quick throws, go to the other side of the field, go deep.
Yeah, pump him and see if we can get somebody to fall asleep on it. Quick throw. Oh, Platt he was
jumped
waiting
that
for
route.
That one.
He jumped that route. I saw that coming.
Good play by Dalen on that one. Just like I said, he see it coming, and boom.
Yeah, he actually saw the ball coming before the receiver knew it was coming on, and the receiver ran a really not a crisp route. He kind of circled that one off. He didn't make a hard cut, which allowed Platt to come in and break that up.
So 4th and 4. Do you try to draw him off sides? Do you try another fake punt? You're talking about 4 yards to gain. So
I would say they will not, John, do another fake. But
they're going to be careful at the top of the screen. We're good there. Good punt. See if we catch it this time. Looks like Dalen Platt's going to catch it, and he does at the 28, and he's got some running room. Dragged down by number 47. That is Bradford Stow.
But that's what you expect out your punt return guys.
Yeah.
Catch the ball. If you get 5, 6 yards, 7 yards like she did, that's perfect.
Yeah, he got 8 yards on that one. So that makes, I mean, you probably would have bounced. He probably wouldn't have been inside the 20. So that was a nice decision on his part. So 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. See if the Indians can get a score here before the half. Glasser back in the game.
Who's been throwing the ball almost exclusively.
Yeah,
why he's been in there.
Got him in there. You got him tossing it around a little bit. See if he can. Now we moved. You could see the guard or somebody move their hand or twitch a little bit. So.
Oh, Sarasota called timeout.
Oh, really? I thought they were calling a penalty on us, so maybe not. Timeout, Sailors and VSN. We'll take a timeout. We're back here at Powell Davis Stadium after these messages. So 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Jaden Glasser in the shotgun.
4:20 left. Plenty of time to get something going here in the last drive, possibly last drive for the half.
They're looking over for the play right now. Glasser with the snap.
One-on-one the outside.
Matulovic got it. Breaks the tackle. Takes it out up to about the 34-yard line of the Sailors.
You know what? And it's interesting. We talked about routes with Sarasota last time and how it wasn't crisp. If you watch this route, we really can't see, but he cut that one off, drove the defender 5 yards past, put a hard step in the ground, and came back and caught the ball.
Right. He actually could have come back to the ball a little bit, but he had a nice little cushion after he made the hard cut, like you said. And he sent a 5-yarder.
It's interesting that Sarasota continues to single him up and not maybe put a safety over top or double team somebody, because it looks like he's kind of picking apart their secondary right now.
No doubt. Timeout Indians. We'll stay here this time because we've got a little bit to talk about in 4 minutes. So Indians on the 38-yard line. You got to figure, that they want to get that. If they're going to get that running clock, they want to get it here in the first half, so they come out. They can put their game plan together with their backups in, with the clock running. So I think they're going to try to put another home run on the board if they can. I really do believe that. So we'll see how that works out. Showing a little bit of the highlights from last week's Manatee game.
There were plenty of them, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we do highlights on the John Peacock Coach Show, which airs every Thursday night on the Education Channel at 7:30. And we had almost 15 minutes of highlights. So when you have that many in a game, you know you've had quite a number of big plays. On the get to do the John Peacock Coach Show. You've done it a few times with our 941 Sports Zone podcast that airs on the VSN the Vibin Abstract Media YouTube page. You guys can watch that if you can. You just look up 941 Sports Zone, Google search, and you'll see us right there. So 1st and 15 for the Indians. Quick snap, handoff to Johnson. Johnson breaks down into the 30-yard line. Tackled there by a bunch of the gray-shirted.
7, looks like.
Yeah. Kind of lose them in the pile a little bit there.
You're right, John. You mentioned during the break a little bit ago, you expect maybe a big play to happen here again. Looks like they might go for it right here.
Quick pass and throw. The 10 kind of blocked out to Carl Lewis, but he got the first down.
But they're really picking on that cornerback, the right cornerback for Sarasota, the last few plays in the passing game, and they're schooling him as far as getting open, that's for sure.
So the ball's down to the 24-yard line. So it's 3rd down. I didn't get the first down.
Just short.
3rd and 7-yard gain. 3rd and 1. Glasser still dragging people. Just great run by Jaden Glasser right there.
Yeah, broke 2, 3, 4 tackles. 1, 2, still 2, 3, and drove people all the way close to the 5-yard line.
So 1st and goal. Quick handoff to Alvin Johnson, and he is just, he got in.
He was thrown in by the offensive lineman. He was, I think he was going to get there on his own, but the offensive lineman said, you know what, I'll help you out. Got the back of him.
So Alvin Johnson with
shoved
the
him in there.
8-yard TD for the Indians. Extra point is Arkadapani. Snap is good. Extra point is good. So with 2:53 left in the first half, your score, Venice Indians 38, Sarasota Sailors 0. We'll stick here for a little bit. Bill, like I said, they came down the field, and Glasser just looked, like he got himself kind of warmed up. I think the first 3 throws that he had were not up to his speed, and then he went 4 for 4 since. So and running hard on top of it.
What a luxury to have going into the playoffs in next month. You have Glasser and you have Downs. Both performed very well tonight so far. And they got to be happy about how those guys are playing and the facets that they can show to teams that have to eventually
Here's
play.
Glasser's run again.
Yeah.
Just, again, keeping his feet moving, breaking out of tackles. You got a bunch of, he's just, like I said, he's not stopping. And I like the fact that his teammates down there are not stopping either. They're trying to get him to get as much as they can. They're going to drag him in the end zone if they have to. Arkadapani to kick off. Might be the only thing I've heard any complaint of tonight from our coaching staff is a little bit. They wanted him to kick it a little deeper, but still not making any yardage on the kickoff return. Better kick. Kind of the same wedge he hit the last time. This time they fielded at the 12. And that's Mullet. And that time stopped by number 42. That is Merrick Borelli on the tackle. So
yeah, tough to go from one hash mark all the way to the other side of the field and not get hemmed in. And good tackle.
So 1st and 10, Sailors at their own 20. So now, like sort of your fate somewhat is sealed. If you're the Sailors, do you come out? Do you keep your quarterback in there? Do you make some changes, or do you just keep fighting the whole rest of the game? It depends on what Coach Phillips has in mind for his team tonight. I'm not saying he expected this, but maybe he had a plan about what he was going to do if this happened.
Yeah, I would expect their starters to remain in place, but I'm sure they're going to filter in some of the younger guys and get some experience.
And off to Ziegler. Takes it up to about the 22-yard gain.
I mean, especially
Looks
if you're a senior and you only have a few games left in the season, and it looks like Sarasota won't be going to the playoffs probably, then you want to play as much as you can.
Oh, no doubt. So Jones, Galloway, Daly, I'll give them all a tackle on that one. The whole team was in on that one. 2nd down and 8 for the Sailors. Taking their time. 2:05 left in the half. Play clock's down to 6. Squateri kicks the snap, looking quick for that quick out. That time to put it right on the hands of number 2, Jackson Mullet. Incomplete. I think.
I thought he caught it.
I thought he caught it too.
Unless it was fumbled out of bounds.
No, he's got it right there.
He's got it.
Judson on the tackle. Ball's up to the 25. So it's 3rd and 5 at the 25. Yeah, the Indians had that tent down there where that's where they have their replay TV. You got to keep it out of the weather, so kind of hard to see on the sideline along that little area right there. But we have replay, so we get a chance to look at that. 3rd and 5. Hand off to Ziegler, following his blockers and brought down. Looked like the corner came up and made a play on that one. See if we see who it is. That's Zarkowitz coming up and getting it right underneath everybody. Good play by him. Got low and got right into their ankles of Ziegler.
Yeah, him and Seed, it looks like. Very conservative play by Sarasota. I'm surprised it didn't really.
Yeah, I think they're just not seeing anything. I mean, you get to the point now where you're like, what do we do here? You know, get to that running clock maybe. You never know what they're thinking.
I would think they would be punting here on 4th down, but
yeah, especially when they had a chance at 4th and 4.
Yeah.
I mentioned that when the last drive, like they could have. That would have been the place I might have gone for if you had something in your bag. You know, I was surprised too. I haven't seen Squatari run too much tonight.
yeah,
You know?
and he has a few yards this year, not a lot, but he usually runs for 20, 30 yards a game. So, but I don't think there's the opportunities there because when you do run the quarterback, it's usually after a fake, and it's going to take a little more time. And the Indians are just so fast in the backfield.
And they are going to go for it on 4th down. So they're going to try to make the Indians jump, I would think.
They're going.
Quick throw and caught it. Nice play. Nice play, number 4, Franklin Crawford.
Caught that one.
Bobbling
Juggled it,
yeah.
got pushed back, almost didn't pick up the 1st down, but then regained possession and
Right there,
created
it looked like there was no chance there, and then even with Platt draped all over him, he stayed on it, and he got it all up to the 40-yard line. I didn't realize he got that much yardage. A nice 13-yard play.
everything was
for the
perfect by
Sailors.
Platt, except he didn't wrap up. But he was there at the same time as the ball was. Delivered a nice hit. Just let him slip by.
So 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Clock stopped on the play going out of bounds at 1:35 left here in the 1st half. Squateri hands off to Ziegler, trying to find his way around. Not much. That would be Bryant along with Seed and Dalton. So 2nd and 9 at the 41-yard line. Now they're taking their time a little bit in the huddle. 21 seconds left in the play clock. And maybe they have. I don't think they have any more timeouts left. If they do, one maybe, but they're getting close. They're down to 5, 3, 2. We just got it off. Ziegler on the handoff. Stopped in there by Galloway, along with Seed. See if Daly was in there too. So Galloway's active right now in the Eli Seed.
So they do not have to run another play if they don't want to, but looks like they will try to get one more off.
So they're going to the 1 yard gain. So 3rd and 8 at the 42-yard line. Or will they? Yeah, I think they should. Wells in motion. Quick throw to Crawford. Brought down by Bryant. I'm sorry, Brantley. Brantley on the tackle. And after that,
And Jackson.
after that 6-yard gain, that's the half. Your score, Venice Indians 38, Sarasota Sailors 0. We'll take a break, come back so we can watch our Venice High School marching band do their halftime performance. And we'll be back to see that after these messages.
Tonight, the band will be performing their 2023 field show entitled American Sketches. Drum major Addison Sherrard, is your band ready? Mighty Sailor Band, you may begin your show.
Our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Equality not only for Americans, but for all people on earth, universal brotherhood and goodwill, and a constant and earnest striving toward the principles and ideals on which this country was founded. Eleanor Roosevelt. Oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty. John F. Kennedy.
We're back here for our halftime stats, and as you can probably guess, it's pretty much the Venice Indian dominated. I'll start with the Sailors, though, as far as their yardage is concerned. They had 14 carries in the first half for a -4 yards. They had the negative plays on the punt that was fumbled, and then a couple other maybe a sack or two brought them all the way back for -20 yards in those plays. And then passing wise, Squitieri is 9 for 15 for 60 yards. As far as the Indians go on from the rushing side, 18 carries for 168 yards. One carry for 68 alone was on C.J. Lewis with the long run to start the game off. Gator Wilder 5 carries for 49 yards and 2 touchdowns. Alvin Johnson 9 for 30 and a touchdown. Ryan Downs 2 carries, 5 yards and a touchdown, and Jaden Glasser 1 for 16. Passing split up between Ryan Downs and Jaden Glasser. Ryan Downs 3 for 4 for 77 yards, and Jaden Glasser 3 for 6, 65 yards and a touchdown. So it could be a combined 6 for 10, 142 and a touchdown. Griffin Casati 1 for 52. Jace Barksdale 2 for 46 and a touchdown. Zakar Lewis 2 catches for 12 yards, and then Ryan Matovich 1 for 32. Penalty-wise, we just talked about keys to the game. Penalties were a little bit. My partner Bill Madden coming back in the booth real quick. Bill, I was just saying, I said Venice Indians dominated with just a little over 310 yards of offense to the Sailors 56 in that half. And then,
ouch.
One thing I can say from the perspective, we talked about the penalties. Started off great and then just got a little bit sideways with some penalties. Venice ended up with 6 penalties for about 65 yards in penalties. So again, if they can eliminate some of those things, some of them. The 5-yarders with the tempo we talked about a little bit during the game. I'm like, this can happen because you get a little bit, you're anticipating getting off to the ball a little quicker. Maybe there's a half-second delay on something, and you're not rolling into the play like you'd expected to. But sometimes you like a little bit of the chop block could be a little bit of something they could have avoided, and the pass interference as well. But again, not much to complain about when you have a 38-0 halftime lead, and you're looking at a running clock in the second half.
And we're trying to find things.
Yeah. And we're that guy.
What impressed me a little bit, I think, is really great for the Indians once again is big plays on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those just tears your opponent's will off when you throw a 60-yard pass or you have a 35-yard run, and not giving up a big play on defense.
Right.
They kind of broke their will early in the first quarter and hasn't stopped. So if this big play ability by Venice can continue on, John, for the rest of the year, they're going to be a force to reckon with through the playoffs.
So I'll just go through this. First play from scrimmage, 68 yards. First pass completion, 52 yards to Casati. Then you've got Wilder with a 42-yard touchdown run. You had Barksdale with a 26-yard touchdown. Matulovic with a 32-yard touchdown. Catch, not a touchdown. But you look at those plays, it's just big chunk plays. The first play from scrimmage goes 68. Talk about the most deflating.
That was a double reverse.
Right, and it's the most deflating play of the game might have been that one right there. You're ready to go. You're jacked up. You're seeing the Indians come on the field. We're going to show them, and boom, right off the bat.
It's funny because those kind of plays aren't just called on the sidelines. They knew about that play the whole week. Just said, okay, here's the first play we're going to run. We're going to practice it. We're going to get it right. This is your guy. This is your guy. We're going to get it exactly right, and they did, and they had a big play.
You can even play in the psychology of that play. You're saying they're going to come out looking to fly around the field. They're going to, as soon as the play goes that way, they're all going that way, and we're going to put the fastest guy we got with the ball in his hand. He's going the opposite direction. Try and catch him.
Crosstown rival. Sailors hate Indians. Indians hate Sailors. Let's go get them. And it's a good call.
Let's do it. That's absolutely right. Taking advantage of that first play, hype that you would expect.
It'll be interesting. I don't have this hand. Maybe I'll try to look it up, or we can get this before we leave, John. What is the all-time record of the Indians versus Sailors as far as high school
That I
goes?
don't know, but maybe we can find that out. We will.
Okay.
What we'll do real quick, though, is watch our Venice Indian marching band right now, and we'll take another break and come back when we're ready to start the second half. See you back here shortly.
Tri-County Land Development, servicing the Charlotte, Sarasota, and Manatee areas for over 19 years. Quality workmanship in residential and commercial site development ensure that what you need is done right the first time. Tri-County Land Development.
What does Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram and Venice High football have in common?
The perfect team and the perfect lineup.
Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram will always go the extra yard, so you can score big with the area's best selection and savings. So if you're looking for a championship vehicle lineup
And a dealership that tackles the competition.
visit Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice,
And if you're looking for a championship football lineup, check out the Venice High football team.
who supports Venice High football. Douglas does.
And we're back here at Powell Davis Stadium after those two great performances by both Sarasota Sailor Band and the Venice Indian Marching Band. So I hope you guys enjoyed all that, and we're getting ready to start the second half of football. It is 38-0 Venice Indians over the Sarasota Sailors, and we will be starting with a running clock. So once they kick off, it'll go unless there's a timeout called, a water break. I think it's a couple reasons, and they do happen, but not on a possession change or anything like that. It continues to go.
So incomplete passes.
Nope.
Still running.
Still running.
Out of bounds. Still
running.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it'll go.
Now you mentioned before you were at a game where they had this, and the other team, it was a Venice who was playing, almost came back and was scoring a bunch of points.
They tried to, but
Okay.
it's rare that it happens.
So if, God forbid, Sarasota scores 5 touchdowns and the running clock doesn't disappear, it stays no matter what?
Yes.
Okay.
But they could still win, though. They could get 6 touchdowns and win it. So there's still a chance.
Don't foresee that happening, but okay.
It
Good
would-
to know.
It would take a lot. I would say like penalties, not penalties, turnovers would be the key to that. Onside kicks, that could be something that would work as well. So the Arcadipani's kick went out of bounds, so they get the ball at the 35-yard line. Sailors are 1st and 10. Let's see if they've got, Squitieri's out there. Indians are pretty much all second string guys.
Looks like definitely some new faces out there, I see.
So we'll be getting to learn them as best as everybody else is. We'll get everybody's name out there. Squitieri with a quick throw, pass complete to Crawford. Crawford up to the middle of the Indian defense. Brought down by number 50, Luke Heenan.
So that time, there another wide receiver screen, nice block on the edge, and he cut it back up the middle. Good for 12 yards, so a nice opening play for Sarasota to start the second half.
Yeah, I think this is a chance for them to kind of get their opportunity, see if they can run their offense regularly, you know what I mean, keep on going here. They go spread, empty backfield. Squitieri gets the snap, looking, throws, and overthrows, and there's holding on that one. That was number 21 for the Indians. That is Bradley Marte, and he was just holding on to the jersey of the Sailor player.
Yeah, and I don't think he even had to, because
No,
that ball
there's no
was
reason to.
uncatchable, and he had a partner right next to him to defend as well.
So that'll be a 15-yarder. First down Sailors. That's, it's like, you look at it, what are you thinking? What are you doing there? But,
you want to make a play.
Right.
Yeah, and I get that too. They didn't get a chance to play a lot in the first half. They want to do something special, show the coaches, show their girlfriends, show their parents.
So first down brings it 1st and 10 at the Venice 38-yard line. Squitieri hands off to Ziegler. Brought down by Zarkowitz. Zarkowitz did a nice job right there. So pickup of 2 makes it 2nd down and 8. Sailors are still kind of taking their time getting in the huddle. And I think part of the reason we say taking their time, we're seeing Venice play. You're so used to the next play. I mean, you're looking down, you look up, and the play's already been run. So it just seems a lot longer. But this is relatively a normal pace you would see in a pro football game or a college football game. where they take pretty much the entire play clock.
Unless you're Colorado, Oregon, something
No,
like that. Yeah.
that ball was tipped. I gotta see if on the replay if I could see who might have got their hand. It might have been Zarkowitz again. He's coming in. Yeah, it's Zarkowitz.
Yeah, good recognition of that little short pop pass that they keep on trying to throw down the middle. Zarkowitz saw it coming, got some air, just batted it down.
3rd and 8. Zarkowitz is only a junior, so I could imagine this is where we'll see a lot of him next year, playing that middle linebacker position. And it's good to see, because he's showing a lot of aggression. He's in with the ones a lot, so he's an up and comer. But Terry takes a snap, and he's pressured in a little screen pass to Wells, and nice play. That's number 24. That's Tanner Rue on the play. Kind of snuffed it out, kind of got low, and did a good job of getting Wells by his ankle, just short of the first down.
So, and it's very apparent for Sarasota to be successful. The ball has to come out of the quarterback's hands within 2 to 3 seconds max.
And it doesn't matter if it's at this point it's either the second string or the first string or whatever. Get it out of their hands fast is the key. You're absolutely right.
Let's see if they can stop them here.
It's 4th and a long 2, I would say.
Okay.
It's Wells in motion, quick throw, and Papatanakis. I thought he had an interception there for a second, but he landed the ball, deflected away.
Well, he did the right thing. He drove towards the receiver and focused on him making the tackle, but
kind of off his face mask, and again, good play on his part. So the Indians take over on downs at their own 30-yard line. So success for the twos on defense. That did a nice job of keeping the Sailors from getting into the end zone.
It sure makes the coaches very happy.
Yeah, that's nice coming up the field and you're getting kudos from your teammates and your coaches. Downs in a quarterback. Oh, bad snap. Oh, nice, a good snap. Hit him in the hands, just didn't really quite hold on to it.
Yeah, it looks like he wanted to tuck that ball quickly into the running back's hands and took his eye off it just a little bit. So it meant to be some kind of counter play.
Yep, so -7 yards, so it'd be 2nd and 17 at the 23-yard line. See if the Indians stick with the run. You got Dorian Jones, otherwise known as Macho Jones, in the backfield with him, and that's a pass complete to Matulovic. So he gets back the initial loss of 7, makes it 3rd and 10, Venice at their 30-yard line.
Indians still moving fast, and that's the way they're going to operate. They're not going to change the way they run their offense just because of the score.
We think we got a motion or dead ball foul. False start.
A little sloppy starting off though in the second half.
So now it's 3rd and 15.
Recovered fumble, penalty.
Yeah,
3rd and long.
See what they come up with. Downs with the snap, and he runs it. Gets up to still going up to the 31-yard line. Somebody got him by the ankle and wouldn't let go. See if we can see who that was. That's 47. That's Stow on the tackle. So it's a 6-yard gain. It's 4th down and 9. Indians look like they're going to go for it at the 31-yard line.
Interesting that they would go for it so deep in their territory, and if they don't make it, Sarasota's going to get the ball in very good field position, and maybe they change their mind. Venice is taking the timeout.
Venice takes the timeout, and will take a timeout. 38-0 is your score. 5:44 left in the 3rd quarter. Back after these messages.
It's Maverick for our friends at Tommy's Express Car Wash. You won't find a better wash than at Tommy's Express. 3 minutes in and out to save you time. With Venice now open, Tommy's now has 8 convenient locations in the area and many more to come. Join the Tommy Club here and you're a member at them all. Text the word WORKS to 52884 and get a free Works wash. Good luck this season and go Indians!
Tri-County Land Development, servicing the Charlotte, Sarasota, and Manatee areas for over 19 years. Quality workmanship in residential and commercial site development ensure that what you need is done right the first time. Tri-County Land Development.
And we're back, and we're still in the timeout. Indians and the Sailors. They might have turned it into a water break, too. So their Indians hurry up and get their punt team on the field. Kane Judson is ready to punt.
His second punt, I think, for the day, correct?
Second punt.
Yep.
Another good punt on his side, on his behalf, I should say. And they let it go out. Another ball inside the 20. That's 2 punts, 2 balls inside the 20. So Judson's having a nice night with the punting.
That was like a 51-yard punt with a little bit of roll, and then the returner let it go. So
Yep,
51, 52 yards.
Down to the 18-yard line. So that's a good stat line for the punter, that's for sure. So Sailors take over 1st and 10 at their 18-yard line. Clock should still be moving. And
it is not.
That's not right. It should never stop on possessions and changes. Don't know why that's happening, but the refs are doing something down there. But the clock should be moving. I'm sure our coaches will probably start saying something here shortly.
The referees are discussing something at this point. It may be just that issue, John. And I saw him wave at his arm, so he's signaling to the operator to.
Yeah, he's.
There we go.
He must have stopped it for some reason, but
yeah.
he shouldn't have been stopped.
Another quick
pass out to Ziegler. Good stop by Brantley.
Actually, it was Andre Jackson.
Well, I think Kanai is wearing 13.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. So it's a little. I know it's a little strange, but
well, maybe because it is Friday the 13th. He wanted something lucky. Yeah, so he is Friday the 13th.
Could be. I'll confirm that with Coach Peacock because I have to, because I am the stats guy. So got to make sure the right guys get the right thing. And Ryan Daly switched from 87 to 83 last week. So I don't know if there was a jersey malfunction or something. They figured just to put him in a different jersey. Squateri throw. Oh, gosh.
Ooh. Missed time jump there.
So that'll be an 82-yard touchdown. That would be Squatari to Crawford. That was on the covers, number 37. That was Jaden Wright. He jumped up there to make a play. Did he just hurt himself in the end zone?
Celebrating, possibly, or he's got a cramp.
Well, that must be something with Venice High School in
yeah,
particular.
if you watch this here, John, when instead of continuing running to make a play, he almost actually turned the wrong shoulder around and jumped up and tried to make a knockdown.
Because he was right there, and I think he could have probably intercepted if he didn't make that jump for it. So that's actually an 83-yard touchdown for the Sailors. You're going to have number 17. That is Andrew Clayton in for the extra point. And again, the clock has stopped. Oh, there it goes. It's going. I say it's not supposed to stop. It seemed like a. And the extra point is good. Clock is moving at 4:07 left in the third, and your score: Indians 38, Sailors 7. We'll take a timeout, come back here to Powell Davis Stadium, see if the Indians can move down the field and maybe match that score.
What does Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram and Venice High football have in common?
The perfect team and the perfect lineup.
Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram will always go the extra yard, so you can score big with the area's best selection and savings. So if you're looking for a championship vehicle lineup
and a dealership that tackles the competition,
visit Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice.
And if you're looking for a championship football lineup, check out the Venice High football team.
Who supports Venice High football? Douglas does.
Tri-County Land Development, servicing the Charlotte, Sarasota, and Manatee areas for over 19 years. Quality workmanship in residential and commercial site development ensure that what you need is done right the first time. Tri-County Land Development.
And we're back here at Powell Davis Stadium. Sailors set to kick off. Back deep for the Indians, number 23, Griffin Gasati. And I cannot make out the far player, but we'll see if he gets it. Oh, it's Lavelle and Gasati. That takes it back at about the 2-yard line. Back up to 15. Out to the 25-yard line. Kind of lost track of him there. He seemed like almost like he disappeared.
They're marking him down right outside the 25, correct?
Yeah.
I think I might have jinxed the Indians on the big play thing there, and they gave up that long pass.
He was right there. Just, I mean, you can say this technique issue. You want to keep him moving his feet, and he just did not.
Yeah, it's when you are running with somebody, the way you turn. There's a certain way you should turn as a defensive back or cornerback when the ball's in the air, if you're behind somebody or if you're in front of somebody.
Right.
And a little misplay there.
Well, you played corner at Auburn for a couple seasons, right? So you should know that stuff.
I did.
Jones on the carry. Pick up a 5.
And the reason I know that because that exact play happened to me.
So it's all experience is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
I did that. Tackle in there by McSwain. 2nd and 5. Make it 2nd and 4 for the Indians. Jones again on the tackle. Stopped in there by Stow. And number 77, that is Mark. See, I knew I got to see this name, Razumovsky. I think I'm right on that one. Gain of 1, 3rd and 3. Downs on the keeper. Dragging players up almost at the 50-yard line.
Well, nice hold up by number 26. The Sailors did not take the late hit. He was thinking about it, didn't. So give him kudos for that, especially on our Venice quarterback.
So that's a 16-yard gain. So it is 1st and 10 Indians at the 48-yard line. Jones on the carry.
And we got 40 seconds left in the quarter, John.
And that's how quick it goes. A 1-yard gain for Jones. 2nd and 9 at the 49. A little more tempo here from the Indians after that first down. Downs are going to throw. Pump fake.
Looking deep.
There was 2. There was a pump fake and then and a stop and then another fake. And I don't know how many times you could have faked it. It just didn't work. 3rd and 9. And this will be the last play of the 3rd quarter unless the Indians can somehow get a play off in the next. Well, they're going to do it. I should have known better.
Yeah, movement on
left
the
guard.
offensive front. Yep.
I mean, it's like you almost watching them. You're thinking they kind of know when the cap's going to start. And if you're a half a second off, you're anticipating that snap. That's what the problem is.
Yeah, and you're also dealing with 2 different quarterbacks who
Right,
probably
cadences.
cadence might be off just a little. I'm sure they practice to try to get the same cadence going, but not always the case with 2 different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to penalize the linemen and say it's all their fault.
No, because you're absolutely right. Because it could just be, it's like having a dance partner or something that the certain move and the new one comes in and you know the dance, but it's not the same way it works.
Yeah, and when you're in a shotgun majority of the time, which Venice is, it also prevents it. So if you're a lineman standing there or a guard or tackle, you really can't take a peek over to see if the quarterback's moving, or you can almost see his hands accepting the ball. You kind of have to listen and know exactly when to move.
Right. So this is the beginning of the 4th quarter now, and Venice it's a little screwy looking, because now the GPS is retooling itself. Somebody see how if you watch it, they can actually when they hit a button, it redoes itself. So it's 3rd and 14 to start the 4th quarter at the Indian 44-yard line. Injured player was number 77. That was Razumovsky. And he kind of limped off, but he walked off under his own power. 3rd down and 14. Downs with the throw and picked off by number 24 of the Sailors. Taking it back upfield with some room. Runs into his own player. Tackled by number 81 for the Indians. That's Owen Keller.
Yeah, that time he, once again, was throwing on the run a little bit. I don't think he spotted that safety coming over until it was too late. Thought he had a one-on-one on the outside. But when you do roll the sidelines, you're bringing attention to the sideline. So everybody rolled his way, and he probably wanted that one back.
Yeah, that's one of the ones you say you try to make a play, but that's just, you know, either you set your feet and throw it a little better, or you run it, one or the other. Because he had a little room out there.
He did.
All right. Sarasota takes the ball out. Venice 43-yard line, 1st and 10. 11:01 left in the game. Squitieri with a quick throw to Ziegler. Kind of a little bubble screen, but sniffed out by the Indians. That is Tanner Rue again on the tackle.
Yeah, I'll tell you, their playbook is not very, very expansive. There's a lot of screens, a lot of bubble passes, a lot of pop passes. But, you know, that's who they are, especially in their attack versus Venice.
Yeah. They're not stretching the defense too much. So 2nd down and 10 after the no-yard gain on the pass. Squitieri sets, looking to throw. Oh, he had pressure, and he gets intercepted.
You're going to call that a catch? Or
Yeah, it's a catch and a fumble. So pressure on Squitieri by number 44. That was Jackson Moss.
Yes, and they just confirmed it. It is an interception.
So Borelli on the interception.
Yeah, good. I didn't see who the pressure was on the quarterback that made him throw
It was
that ball in the air.
44, Jackson Moss.
Okay.
He came up the field, got a nice pressure on him.
Even got held.
Yes, and he still made the pressure, yes.
That was a close one, whether he actually had possession of that interception, but refs gave it to him. 1st down, Venice.
At their own 30-yard line. Downs back in there with Jones in the backfield. I think they're going to go back to run the football here. And there's Jones in the carry. Hard run. He fumbled. And Sarasota gets it back. That time is recovered by number 32, Hayden McSwain.
Jones is down. Or is that?
It's
else?
Jones.
Is it Jones? Okay.
He's holding his arm or his ribs, one or the other.
Hopefully he's okay and it's nothing more than a wind issue or just a, yeah, he's holding his right arm.
He's moving it, so it's not like could be an elbow, could be anything like that. Sometimes you get hit a certain way, and man, it hurts like heck.
And he's got a lot of football left to play in his career, correct?
Oh yeah, he's only a freshman.
That's right.
Only a freshman. So Sarasota gained a little yardage on that one. So 1st and 10 at the Venice 30-yard line. Squitieri back to throw. Again, Moss chasing him down. Pass complete to number 9. And I think the Venice player got hurt worse.
Yeah, he was down on the ground and he might have got a knee to the head.
Yeah, right to the side of his head. You can see him kind of.
Yeah.
So pass was complete. Gain of 3. And we have an injured player. Let's do this. Let's take a quick timeout while they're working on Mr. Tanner Rue, and we'll be back here after these messages.
Tri-County Land Development, servicing the Charlotte, Sarasota, and Manatee areas for over 19 years. Quality workmanship in residential and commercial site development ensure that what you need is done right the first time. Tri-County Land Development.
We're back and happy to report that Tanner Root walked off the field in his own power. Looked a little groggy, kind of holding his head a little bit. So I'm sure they'll check him out and make sure he's okay. Second down. Squatteri's pass complete to that's number 2. That's Mullet. Brought down by Papatanakis on the tackle. So first down, Sailors at the 15-yard line after that 12-yard gain.
I'm not sure moral victories are needed here, but if Sarasota can punch another touchdown in,
no doubt.
I would say they'd make it feel a lot better.
Like I said, you got to look at it and say they're running their first team. They're gonna get as much playing time for these guys as they can get. They're only going to get better by the more playing time they get, and so success helps as well. Squateri kind of scrambles out of harm's way, and ball is short, thrown to Franklin, number 4, or actually it's Crawford, Franklin Crawford. 2nd and 10.
So that pass had to be precisely thrown because he was covered fairly well, but the ball was shorted by about a yard. Otherwise, he had a chance to make a play right on the goal line.
Had a bit of a weird rotation on it too. It was more sort of like wobbling in the air. Nonetheless, it is 2nd and 10. Empty again with Wells sort of in that, I guess you call it like H-back position right there. Snap to Squateri, looking to his left. Quick pass to Wells. Got room up the middle. And stopped by Zarkowitz, 26 on the tackle.
Just short of the first down, looks like.
Yeah, just like I said, he kind of sneaks out with some blockers. Kind of could have had him there. Reed was close.
Yeah, Lyman almost downfield too. Potentially could have called that.
So 3rd and 2 from the 7-yard line.
Pass play with potential quarterback run.
He got it, and touchdown.
Yep.
That's complete to number 9, I believe. Yeah, number 9 for the Sailors. That's Chris Espinal for the touchdown. 7-yard touchdown.
So we got to give the Sailors a little credit here. I scored them 14-0, and even though the clock has been running and Venice has different kind of players on the field than they normally have, give Sarasota some credit for bouncing back and scoring 2 touchdowns.
I'm not surprised, to be honest with you, to Bill. I thought they would be. That there's no quit in these guys. I think that again, no one get a chance to meet their coach twice. He's definitely instilled that culture that get it right. Let's keep going. Don't quit. All the things that you would think that come naturally. No, sometimes these are learning experiences where you say, look, guys, momentum. We got to try to keep this pace. Success breeds success. All those good things you would say to those kids when they're doing this in the second half. And the extra point was good. So with 4:59 left on the clock, your score is the Venice Indians 38, Sarasota Sailors 14.
So what you're hoping for Venice here is clean drive, no penalties, some first downs, and potentially a score to kind of close this game out.
Yeah, and I mean, the Indians, I'm sure, are going to have a little bit of something. They'll coach these twos up. They're going to, it's like every game you kind of want to have a coachable moment if you can. And I think these are the kind of moments where, like you said, your cornerback he jumps for the ball when he should have probably keep running. You're talking about his shoulders where they were supposed to be or should have been. Those are all things I'm sure they're going to get coached up big time in in Monday's film session and Tuesday's practice, and so because the one thing about the second string, you're one play away from being the first string.
Yeah, so we saw a couple of hopefully minor injuries, just in the last 15 minutes.
You've got to be ready. You've got to be ready.
Yeah, there's definitely some material now for the coaches to put their hat on and lack of a better word, coach them up.
That's what it is.
Next week.
Again, Clayton kicking off for the Sailors. And Venice is preparing for the onside kick.
Yeah, they got 10 guys.
And they got
right up on the
Zakara Lewis back deep.
scrimmage line.
Going to kick it deep. Lewis will let that go. Hopefully gets to the end zone, and it does. So it's a touchback. Indians will start on their 20-yard line. I always thought about that too, like especially in high school. There's always things aren't as smooth on kickoffs, and you got an onside kick situation where you see it's happening there. I wouldn't be afraid to look at where the deep guy is and kick it away from him and see if he doesn't,
let it go,
bobble it around a little bit. Yeah.
Or you even seen times where you kind of do placement kicks where you maybe do it 30 yards, so it's in between the front line and the guy who's deep, and maybe your guys can race there first.
And then you see a guy who's wearing a jersey above 50, and he's like, I got this.
Yeah. Touchdown.
Here I go.
I've seen it.
My one chance. Johnson in with the Jones injury, and he takes it up to the 24-yard line.
Got some extracurricular activity going down the bottom of the screen there.
Two guys getting a little froggy. Referees let it go. 4-yard gain, a 2nd and 6 from the 24-yard line. 3:31 left in the game. Downs takes the snap, looks, throws, complete to Corbett. Get upfield. Going to be about a yard short. That was one of those ones when he got the ball, he should just run right as no skipping around. You should have went straight at right there. Boom, just go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he had 3 defenders coming right at him.
So 3rd and 1 at the 29-yard line. Johnson on the handoff, and he's got plenty of running room. Looks like he may have, the corner is not turning around to see where he's at yet.
Needs one block.
Yeah, he's got it. And I like that. Frazier was nice, did a nice job of keeping his arms up in the air so he didn't get a block in the back. Well, having Johnson with a
great answer
touchdown
by the Indians. I was a little worried about how they performed in the second half, and that helps and goes a long way to
good blocking too. Look at Lavelle. You got all the guys downfield, and Frazier keeps running, and that's like blocking right there. And then right here, he's got his back to him, and then the number 24 the same way, and he just kind of puts his hands up as to say, "Look, I'm not touching him. See, I ain't doing anything. I'm just running." And then you get the screen.
Well, good sell job by him going down the sidelines.
Yeah.
The corner was looking for the ball in the air, actually. And
so now this is one thing that Coach Peacock does. He does go for 2 on extra points when he's in the running clock, because I have no backup, kicking team. He goes for 2. So I would imagine this is a Ryan Downs chance to run the ball.
He's got 3 seconds to do that. I'll call timeout. Looks like they have too many players in the field too.
He can call timeout. Had to. So we can.
Delay a game.
Delay a game. Well, I guess that makes sense. See what they come up with now with an 8-yard.
So their success rate on 2-point conversions this year, it's got to be about 70%.
It's good. And 4th down plays too.
Yeah.
Right, Downs rolling right, looking, throwing. Oh, incomplete. So they missed on that one.
So they're 3 for 4 tonight in that department.
So 44-14 is the score. Clock is still running at 50-something seconds, and I think this is pretty much going to be it's a penalty on the play. Hold on a second. We got another chance at this. Or do we? Little man downfield. Declined. Holding. Declined. All kinds of penalties. And it's down. The game clock's down to 32 seconds, and I don't think there's any reason for any more place to run. The Indians are running over for the handshake for this game. Yep. So final score is going to be 44-14. And Bill, we'll wrap it up after we'll come back with some commercials and do some stats real quick. Wrap it up, but. First thoughts on the win for the Indians, the district championship. That's one thing we got to remember on this one.
Interesting. 3 teams in a district. You're champions already. Still a great thing. Big plays the first half. They dominated. It was good to see took their foot off the gas a little bit in the second, which is fine. They were ahead by a large margin, but overall, Indians played well, and it was an extension of last week when they played really well against Manatee.
Yeah, no doubt about it. With that, we'll take a break, come back here, and I'll get some stats out there and final thoughts on the game. When we come back here at Powell Davis Stadium after the Indians win the district championship 44-14 over Sarasota. Be back here shortly.
What does Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram and Venice High football have in common?
The perfect team and the perfect lineup.
Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram will always go the extra yard, so you can score big with the area's best selection and savings. So if you're looking for a championship vehicle lineup
And a dealership that tackles the competition.
visit Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice.
And if you're looking for a championship football lineup, check out the Venice High football team.
Who supports Venice High football? Douglas does.
It's Maverick for our friends at Tommy's Express Car Wash. You won't find a better wash than at Tommy's Express. 3 minutes in and out to save you time. With Venice now open, Tommy's now has 8 convenient locations in the area and many more to come. Join the Tommy Club here and you're a member at them all. Text the word WORKS to 52884 and get a free Works wash. Good luck this season and go Indians! For our friends at Tommy's Express Car Wash. You won't find a better wash than at Tommy's Express. 3 minutes in and out to save you time. With Venice now open, Tommy's now has 8 convenient locations in the area and many more to come. Join the Tommy Club here and you're a member at them all. Text the word WORKS to 52884 and get a free Works wash. Good luck this season and go Indians!
It's the Out of This World sales event at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram, and we just launched the most stellar deals of the year. It's Jeep season, so blast off in the new Jeep Compass Limited from only $339 per month. Or leave the world behind in the new Jeep Grand Cherokee from $429 per month. It's Ram season, so shoot for the stars in the new Ram 1500 Quad Cab from only $369 per month. Don't miss the Out of This World sales event going on now at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice. Who has Out of This World savings? Douglas does!
And we are back here at Powell Davis Stadium with the final score of Venice Indians 44, Sarasota Sailors 14. And Bill, game was over in the first half, obviously. Venice got off to a really quick start with a 68-yard run in the first play from scrimmage, and they cashed it in. Less than a minute, the game was gone before the Indians had the lead and kind of controlled the whole first half. Sailors came back, and like you said, character of the team showed they kept on playing, and you like to see that, and they put 14 up on us in the second half, and nonetheless, there's still a win in the district championship for the Venice Indians.
We got it, and for Venice, their star players got their touches.
Right.
They performed well. They didn't disappoint. Got, like you said, jumped out to that big lead and kind of relaxed in the second half and watched some of the second teamers play. And had a nice touchdown in the end there, a
Yeah.
long run. But yeah, it was interesting. They came out that double reverse, a couple nice passes, some other long runs, but once again, big plays by the Indians on offense. Limited the big plays on defense until that one errant play where Sarasota completed it. I think it was an 82-yard touchdown pass. But other than that, they dominated both sides of the ball, line of scrimmage, passing game, running game, you name it. They dominated.
No doubt. With that, I'll give you some stats from tonight for the Sarasota Sailors. 15 carries for -2 yards on the game. Only really run the ball one time in the second half, so they threw it a lot in the second half. Passing wise, 18 out of 28 for 190, 83 on the one play. But Sailors did a little bit in the second half with some decent yardage to kind of make it a little bit more respectable from them from a stats perspective. Indians rushing 27 carries, 266 yards. And 4 touchdowns. Led in there initially by Alvin Johnson after that 70-yard run. So he was 11 carries for 105 and 2 touchdowns. Jamaris Wilder, Gator Wilder, 5 for 49, did not play in the second half. And Ryan Downs also 5 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown. So good running there. Passing-wise, total-wise, 8 for 14 passing, 154, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Ryan Downs started and finished the game. He came in there and he had I have him for 5 of 8 passing for 89 yards, and then Jaden Glasser was 3 for 6 for 65 for a total of 8 for 14. Like I said, 154, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
And Downs did have that nice play where he threw the ball 50 yards in the air, running to his left.
He did.
And dropped it right into receiver's hands. Almost scored a touchdown. Got really close before we punched it in after that.
And Barksdale, we talked about the keys of the game. Barksdale and Gasati came out right away, started hot. Gasati had the 152-yard catch, and then Barksdale was 2 catches for 46 yards and a touchdown. So again, those 2 guys again were the spark plugs on the offense as far as the passing game was concerned. C.J. Lewis maybe a little bit less than we've seen him in the last couple games, but not necessary. Just the first run was a nice play for him for 68 yards. So picked up his yardage carrying the ball, not catching it this week, but nonetheless he was effective and dangerous as always with the ball in his hand.
And the great things of Indians have options. They
Correct.
got option A, B, C, D, E, and F. They use probably 3 or 4 of them today more frequently, but heading into the playoffs eventually, they have a lot of guys that can get the job done. Not just 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, maybe 5 guys.
And the mistakes they were making early, some with the receivers, maybe trying to run before they catch it, little things like that, they did a really nice job over the last couple games cleaning that up.
No, the route running has been terrific. I noticed the big difference between Venice's route running and some of Sarasota's,
right.
How much crisper and on a line Venice is. So whoever's coaching those guys are doing a nice job as far as their route trees.
And as far as the defense is concerned, we got to mention them. They did play a great game, a shutout in the first half. The second team came in and did a pretty good job. The one play in particular was one that just kind of got away from them. But otherwise, I think they did a really good job on defense. Kind of you like to see the stat line where you have tackles spread out all over the place. The linebackers all kind of had their fair share of tackles. 1 interception by Borelli or late in the game as that was concerned. Early on, they put a lot of pressure on Squitieri, and he didn't have much time to throw the ball. He was trying to get the ball out of his hand as fast as possible. So the defense played a bang-up game. And Kane Judson, let's not mention him. He had a good night punting, 2 balls inside the 20, and got the ball off. And again, also our kicking game on the other side with our buddy there, Mr. Josiah Akadapane, who did a good job as well. So with that complete victory, maybe penalties a little high again, but nonetheless, still something you can work on. But otherwise, the Indians are definitely the district champions and on to the playoffs, and we'll just see how we can finish out the rest of the year. And as far as our ranking is concerned in the region, to see if we can get ourselves a bunch of home games.
They're definitely, and you probably agree, John, they're peaking at the right time. If they started off a little slow going up the mountain at the beginning of the year, I think they're getting near the top where they're performing at exceptional levels, and they'll be ready for whatever comes at them in the next few weeks.
If one of the worries was they were going to be ready mentally for this game, there's no worry after this. They were prepared. So this is going to be the game that you could maybe fall asleep on, but now the rest of them are going to be all you're heading towards the big prize at some point in time, whatever that may be. And so they're going to be focused and they're going to do it right. And they showed tonight they can get ready for a game that they're supposed to win and be mentally prepared for it.
And you guys are going to be here all along the way, right?
Yeah, we're going to be as much as we can, which again with our VSN network here, and we really appreciate again Vibrant Aspect Media, Francis, and the guys doing a great job putting on a great product and giving us a chance to talk about football for a
great
couple
job
hours.
by your team and everybody here. I mean, it's so nice to be able to watch Venice football when I'm not able to come.
Right.
And I can project it onto my big screen TV and say, this is pretty
It's
nice.
different. It's a different deal. It's a different day and age. 2023 compared to 1983. The whole different ball of wax when you're watching Venice high
AM
school
radio
football.
cracking on like some
If
transistor,
you
possibly.
could get that, you had to be somewhere special to find that, get that signal. So with that, all right, thanks, Bill. We appreciate you being here.
No problem.
I may make the call again, so be ready.
We shall see.
Keep watching.
I've been here twice. I've seen 2 Venice blowouts, so hey, that's what it takes.
Listen, if there's a state championship, we need a spotter. You might be in the press box or a sideline reporter. That'd be even better. Get you on the sidelines. We'll see if that happens. So we'll get you there. Be the lucky charm for us.
Great.
For Bill Madden, I'm John Massoni. Thank you guys for watching tonight. Go Indians, district champions.
Next week.
Go beat Palmetto.
Palmetto.
Keep it up. Right. So we'll see you guys next week here on Vibrant Aspect Media. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.